아 그래서 미래인 세종의 나디는 먼저 잡는 리우리 선수.
그렇죠. 리우리 선수 살아가긴 힘들 것 같은데.
판단이었고요. 그래도 와 이러면 근데
오?
카르텔이 그냥 이거 엄청 번는데요?
갑자기 카르텔이?
자 이거 근데 부활하고 나오는 미래인 세종의 카르텔이 지금 나뉘어 있다가 터질 수 있거든요.
이거 그래도 버저비터로 다 살리긴 했습니다.
맞습니다.
센스가 너무 좋았죠. 사실 저게 하이퍼루프가 이상한 데 떨어졌으면
근데 이거 사실 놓치지 않겠다.
체력이 없기 때문에
한번 살려봐라. 우리는 계속해서 잡으면
와,
되는데.
한 대! 살짝 한 대!
마지막 한 대!
많이 터졌고요.
네!
아 마이의 시간이 부족했기 때문에 이러면
결국.
카르텔.
네.
와 저렇게 살리는 센스도 너무 좋았지만 저걸 쫓아가서 마무리하는
이쪽에 BNK 플렉스 숨어 있는데 뭐 이런 시시야.
이런 거 체크할 만하거든요.
네네.
오,
이쪽에서 먼저.
대형 사고 송아랑.
아니
와.
블라스트 웨이브 오늘 그냥 예술인데요 각도가.
NCMP도 지금 데미지를 못 넣고 있고요.
그렇습니다. 진짜 송아랑 대단하네요.
와 오늘 늘 상수해요.
정말 저 어려운 조합에 가장 큰 역할 계속 이제
BNKX.
결국 송아랑 선수만 밖에 없거든요. 사실 페나 선수는 들어왔을 때 큐 트리플 한번 살아나갈 수 있고 스칼렛 선수는 이 아티팩트를 활용할 수 있기 때문에 선수가
들어갑니다.
저희가 쉽지가 않아요. 이런
그래서
한번 실패하면
이러면 좀 궁극기가 좀 빠져 있고 이미 체력이 좀 많이 너덜너덜해져 있는 상태인데요.
그렇죠.
이제 스파클의 턴이 왔죠.
맞습니다. 그 비장의 한 발이 빗나갔기 때문에 스파크의 턴을 가져왔고 BNK 입장에서는 금지구역 시간이 좀 줄어들기 전에 먼저 한번 소모를 했기 때문에
은밀한 더블 기오틴 저런 은밀한 더블 기오틴
지금 지금 4개가 깔려 있어요 지금.
이건 뭐 은밀하지도 않네요. 이게.
자, 근데 이거
네,
이팔 선수 쪽 물어줬기 때문에 한번 흘려줬거든요.
이러면 녹았어요.
자, 송하랑 선수만
체력이,
잡아내면 고양이가 한번
송하랑 잡으면
마무리
잡았죠. 이러면
마커스가
마커스가 와, 근데 마커스 뚫려요.
마커스.
너무 강합니다.
자 그럼 이러면은
마지막 남은 이팔 선수.
이제 사실
네.
플로에는 한 대만 맞으면 끝날 수도 있거든요.
이렇게 또 살리고
이러면 변수가
네.
없겠습니다.
살리게 되면 살리고 나서 들어갔는데
이긴 합니다만 그래도 되게 되게 많이 밀려났죠.
네. 마인 한 번 더 붙어주고
나딘이 없거든요.
네. 국내 상황 이대서 나딘 왔어요.
자, 이 선수의 포지션이 중요한데 시간상 선수 순간적으로 파고들 때 흘려내는 능력 굉장히 중요한데
좀 크게 이거 녹았어요.
이러면은
태국 다운.
마이는 살아나가야죠.
한번 버텼고요. 네.
들어오는 거 잡자 두달.
그 어려운 걸. 이쪽에서도 교전이
와 근데 야니?
자, 이거
하지만
이러면
와, 그리고
역으로.
키아라 심판이 제대로 접근하지 않았고 결국에는 터트렸는데요.
이렇게 속박에 확실하게 연기합니다.
그리고 곳곳에서
자, 이거
교전해주고 있는데 이거 3대3 교전이거든요.
펴졌거든요.
네. 그리고 키아라도
그리고 키아라가 한 명을 이미 잡아 먹었습니다. 자, 2명.
태경 아래쪽에
태경이.
여기로 태경
와,
잡고요.
잡아라. 신팅 잡아라.
네, 1차 남기고
결국
다행히
위쪽 다 금지구역이거든요.
네. 살리고서 뒤돈다. 살리고서 뒤돈다거든요.
자, 과연 이 전략이 제대로 먹혀 들어갈지.
자, 리구리 선수가 살짝 하늘나리 가지고
하늘나리 못 탔어요.
아니 이걸 자이로드를 타버리면
그래 선수 다운됐고요.
근데
자, 이제 이런 로지 잡아요. 로지 잡아요.
클로에 대 로지.
그런데 로지가 데미지를 지금 충분히 넣어야 되는데
자,
먼저
로지
놓았어요. 빠졌어요. 다운되면서
서로 궁극기를 많이 사용을 한 상황이고 이렇게 되면 서로 일단 또 누군가 싸우지 않을 것 같고요.
신팅 입장에서 근데 숨 막히거든요.
그렇죠. 이거 나가야 되거든요.
나가야 되는데.
그래서
오히려 먼저.
자 블링크 빠졌다.
제로지.
터졌어요. 지금 왜 이렇게 빨라? 얘기가 나올 수밖에 없어.
키아라 찍었고.
자
한번
이러면
더.
나딘이 이게 다 잡아내긴 어렵고요.
네.
그렇죠.
그런데?
근데 진호?
근데 이제 득대맹승이 꺼져요.
여기까지 꺼졌습니다.
그렇죠. 그리고 승전보까지 이미 받아낸 팀입니다.
어쩔 수 없습니다. 진호 선수 다운됐고요. 인구 선수까지 마무리가 이거 없습니다.
근데 누미도 진짜 요즘 칼퇴근해서
네.
신팀 이 조합 상대로 이겨내야 하는데 대제메아리가 없긴 하거든요.
디나 선수의 체력이 거의 절반 아래고요.
근데 이게 결국에
찍고
아야의 단점이 결국 한 명밖에 못 때린다는 건데
네.
이 조합 상대로 요한이 그냥 힐 주고 그냥. 근데 마이를 노렸을 때 얀이나 로지가 파고드는 거를 나딘이 진짜 잘 흘려줘야 되거든요. 그런 디테일이 좀 필요합니다.
이쪽도 더블 기호틴을 적극적으로 기용해주고 있습니다.
자, 신혜마 선수가 한쪽으로
찍었고요.
하고 기다렸는데요.
천천히.
현재 시네마 선수
빅데맹스 뺐어요. 이러면 너무나 유리해졌죠, 조합들.
이러면 나딘이 살짝 기분이 나쁠 것 같은데 살짝 빠졌다 다시 들어가면 될 것 같습니다.
자, 그래도 애셔에게는 지월크 선수가 남아 있습니다.
결국에 얀과 로지가 진짜 한 번 잘못 걸리면 터질 수 있거든요.
저 속박 다이버 찍혔습니다.
자, 철 선수는 잘 빠져 나갔지만 이거 아델라의 데미지가 좀 부족했나요?
자,
마무리
로지가
안
아래쪽에서
됐거든요.
녹였고 하지만 올라와서 데미지 이어서 로지 세트핸드.
와,
와.
진짜 다들 한 방씩 모자라.
네,
네.
정말 한 팀.
그렇죠.
자, 지월크 선수 도발당했고요. 선수 재활을 얻는 것도 중요하겠지만 결국 점수를 얻는 행위는 킬을 따는 거니까요.
초반 단계에서는 어떻게든 같이 붙어 있다가 먼저 때리는 좀 킬 많이
네,
거든요.
이렇게.
네, 이렇게 그냥 같이 있다가 먼저 잘 때리면 무조건 킬 들어옵니다.
네,
그렇죠.
인구 선수의 진입 예술이었고요. 2차 밤입니다.
근데 이게 태급이 워낙 강한 팀이다 보니까 블라스터 선수가 최고의 플레이를 해준 게 아닌 이상 힘들거든요.
그렇죠. 이렇게
아.
들어버리면
그냥 비비면서 싸우면 이게
그렇죠.
안 쓰러져요.
체력이 안 달았는데요, 블랑슈.
네, 그냥 체급을 앞세워
혹시 야생동물 잡은 건가요?
못
싸-
싸우 그 정도 느낌으로.
네.
일방적으로 막
체력이 차고 있는데요, 블랑슈.
네, 케어가 없는 테오도를 결국 네,
자, 이건 좀 안녕.
네 반갑습니다 하고 인사 한번 해주고요.
아, 이러면 누가 먼저 타는 거죠?
그렇죠.
아,
못 탔어요.
아, 이러면
이거 뭔가요?
같이
지금?
터지단가요?
네, 이거 너 결코 보낼 수
아,
없는
잠깐만요.
어
잠깐만요.
우리 친구 왔다.
이거
자,
예상할
그래서
수 없었는데요.
블라스터
그런데-
잡아야 된다. 블라스터 잡아야 된다.
가 진짜 잘해주고 있는데
만두 한 번 먹으면
시간이
네,
시간이
아,
세 명은 다르거든요.
네.
착하게 좀 살지.
착하게 선수까지 다운됩니다. 아니 아야의 데미지 각이 생각보다 나오지 않아요 지금.
그렇습니다. 그리고 이거 아비게일 진입 대박. 애플 슬래시 계속 쓰고 있습니다.
그렇죠. 그리고 네임리스가 진짜 운영을 꾸준히 해주고 있었던
네.
팀이라
와, 세비 녹아요.
셀 거고요.
네.
그런데
1대 교환.
세나핀과 베어가 죽지 않고 계속 딜해주고 있다고.
일단 잘해주고 있습니다. 두 선수 모두.
이거 이러면 아비게일도
이러면
다운되겠는데요?
아비게일이 다운되기 직전 다운됐습니다.
그림
아케드 들고 있는데 할 수 있고. 오, 자.
자, 여기서 아비게일.
아비게일이 해주니까
아비게일.
잡았어요.
자, 일단 잡았고요.
자 이러면
안 죽었어요.
로지가 이제
아비게일
부산 딜리는
살았어요.
아비게일 더 살고
로지 계속해서 딜각 늘어지고 있고요.
넉넉히 몸으로
와,
막아주고
아비게일.
도발.
네임리스
안 죽었어요. 어떻게 안 죽었죠 저게? 네. 괴물이 5일차
아.
낮을 맞이했는데 도망치는
그런데
곳에
교전 구도가
나쁘지 않아요.
교전 구도 나쁘지 않거든요.
경기 네이츠 잘 받아치고 치고 지금 생각보다
와
나가
이거
있습니다.
기호테 피해주고 방망이
와.
거기서 피해주고
다 피하고
아니
세라핀 다운.
진호
진호가
아니 진호 진짜 힘들렸는데요?
그렇죠.
숨도 안 쉬고 데미지 꽂아놓고 있는데 뒤에서 오는 애셔를 어떻게
바늘다리 타고 순간적으로 지각변동 갖고
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Eternal Return game channel. You guys can see right up at the top, we are right back today for the Eternal Return Masters Season 5 Phase number 3, Wildcards. I got that right on the first go, let's go. My name's Shuvi, we'll be casting here today. We got Super on the left, he hasn't abandoned me today, I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. How's it going? How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How about yourself this morning? What's up? What's up?
I'm doing fantastic, Shuvi. I'm a little tired, but I'm definitely here to watch some more Eternal Return. On the KR side, always, a treat to watch. The highest level of gameplay, especially because today we are in the wild card, so we're down to our top 12 teams this time. The bottom 8 on that top 12, but nonetheless, 4 teams did get eliminated from yesterday.
I know, and today is super exciting because today is going to be the first day where we start to really see whether or not some of these teams have chances to go to the season finals. We're in the wildcard stages, but do remember, guys, that I think it was either starting last season or this season specifically that they are starting to give out circuit points for teams that also made it to the wildcards. Now, it might not be too much, but the fact that they do get even a little bit, that could make a little bit of changes to the final circuit point format. Well, not the format itself, but the circuit point leaderboard. That's probably a good way to put it. So there's a lot of ways that today's can go. I do hope that these teams get the result that they want. Of course, for the 4 teams that don't move on to the finals, it's not going to be the best results, but I wish that they are able to do the best that they can. And speaking of the teams that could potentially play here today, we got all 8 teams. They're not potentially playing. They're actually playing. That's exactly how this works. We got Team Sparkle Esports, BNK Furex, DHCNJ, and Tangle Dobby are 4 teams that came into the wildcards from Group A. Tejon Cybers, Auto Arms, Sin, and Blanche as our other 4 teams coming in from Group B.
Yeah, a lot of great teams here, Shuvi. I'm very excited to see, how Team Sin does in this lobby because obviously, Sin is kind of like a newcomer team, and they're playing a really unorthodox comp. They're playing that Kiara, Johan, and that Chloe. Kind of curious to see how they do end up matching up into, teams. Especially from teams from Group A, because there seems like Sparkle Esports and BNK Furex, even though they did play really well, they still got knocked down into the wildcards. So yeah, we're gonna have to see how they do end up shaping up into this lobby. I wonder if there are going to be any bans for the wildcards as well, because we do have a lot of teams that kind of stick with like maybe their own comp and their own play style. So maybe we won't see any type of bans today. We did see, I think, a triple ban yesterday in Group B with that Priya, Mai, and Aya coming out, and then it did end up swapping to that Rozzy as well. So maybe we'll see that Rozzy ban too.
Yeah, but you can still definitely tell that some of the teams that are going to be playing here today, regardless of the bans from yesterday or how they perform, you can definitely tell that some of them have a very solid fan base. Both BNK Furex from Group A as well as I think it was Tejon Cybers coming in from Group B. They both had around 50%, slightly higher than that when it comes to the Freaka TV votes. Yeah, those national sponsored teams are definitely going to be one of your more popular teams that exist in the wildcards here today, but that doesn't change the fact that you still have to play it, right? Just because you get the highest votes from a Freaka TV doesn't mean that you get a special bonus or anything. That's just numbers.
Yeah, I mean, and even Sin, no one's really heard of them until recently, and they got 10% of the vote, so they're definitely making a name for themselves, and I hope they're also excited to play for today, because and this is their I would say, their only chance, to make it straight into the finals for Season 5.
Yeah, oh boy. Man, dude, I can't believe we're already really up on the eve of the season finals, right? I know we still got about a month ahead of us for this, but we really have to prepare, both you and I. LCQ is going to come up really quickly. We have just about, I think, 2 patches to go until the season finals are really upon us, and I think the next patch that we get is going to be the one that we do end up playing the season finals on, right? Because the current patch, we're probably going to play LCQ. I would assume that Human is going to be available for that one. That's going to really throw a lot of things, around, I think, for these teams. Because Human, even with additional changes, I think he still does a good chunk of damage, right? That's the thing that I do want to say. He's still pretty decent at controlling distance himself. He's relatively decent at chasing, I would say, if I'm going to be completely honest myself too. So LCQ is going to be funny, but then the season finals is immediately around the corner right after that. We are going to be busy for the next month or so.
Yeah, I'm curious if any of the teams will end up swapping or maybe trying to tech in that Human, because Human will be available for the LCQ and the grand finals, because I think it is a 3-week competitive ban after a character gets released. So yeah, well, we're definitely gonna have to see. Human did get hit pretty hard on the 1.34 patch, so maybe if he gets some love in the next patch, maybe we could see him coming out in the grand finals. But Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Again, we can speculate all we want, but when it comes to Human, it just really comes down to whether or not these teams actually want to run it, right? He does have a lot of
Yeah.
mobility within a fight because he can reset, but at the same time, he is relatively close range too. I just think that some of these teams, it might fit within their arsenal, but when you think about some of the possible characters that might be coming out today, especially when you think about Riori, for example, you got Adriana. I don't think a Yumin is gonna be a great substitute for that character, just because even when Adriana wasn't available yesterday for Riori, the kind of characters that he just went over to, it was super long range.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides. I think to playing human is you kind of get outranged by a lot of these, really really far, back range either mages or even ADCs,
Yep.
right? It is pretty hard for him to play, but the main strength of Yumin is that is like the mobility and the amount of damage he has. But with the recent changes, he did lose out on a lot of the resets on his dash, and I think that is that does also contribute a lot of damage. So
Indeed.
yeah, we're gonna have to see if any adjustments will be made for him, because I think right now he might not be in a spot where teams want to pick him up. But aside from that, Shuvi, I think we're gonna jump straight into the games here very shortly. Yeah, it looks like
Indeed.
we're just gonna jump straight in. Do we have any bans? We don't really see all the picks yet, but we do see a couple of duplicates. We got 2 Emmas. Maybe we might see that Marcus ban. I think we have 3 people hovering Marcus and 1 person already locked in. We saw how strong the Marcus is from yesterday, so I wouldn't be surprised if Marcus did end up getting banned today. Oh, maybe a Chloe ban actually.
That'd be really interesting.
No, looks like Sebi does end up swapping back. But wait a second, Vaughn is back on the Chloe, and Revolu is gonna swap back. No, he's not. Wait, no, we would. We will have
wow.
Cinema will be on the Chloe.
A Chloe ban?
Yeah, we have a Chloe ban and a Marcus ban.
I've never seen a Chloe ban before. I know that for sure too, because remember yesterday I mentioned how maybe the one time, maybe it was probably the first Aya ban that I've ever seen in ERM or ERC, ERL, ERC, whatever you want to call it, from back in the days. This is genuinely the first time I've seen a Chloe ban too. This is incredible. I'm seeing a lot of first bans I've ever seen in a Korean tournament. This phase, Cinema on the Chloe, that is really interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen him play a backliner, but they got JCP in this time. Maybe they thought the Yan wasn't working, or from Taeyong, or maybe Taeyong's busy today, so he's not able to participate for the wildcards. So that's the reason why they ended up going for this Alonso pick, and they're just playing the typical, frontline tank with a backline AC and a backline mage, and Sad Hands is gonna be playing on that Haze. I don't think I've seen him playing Haze before, so I'm very excited to see how he does end up utilizing Haze's kit. Especially since Haze is such a strong mage, I would say, just in general, right? So much range, so much damage, has some CC as well, really good poke.
Indeed, guys, here we go. Game 1 is going to begin. Let's see which teams are going to be moving on into the finals and which teams are going to be eliminated. But I do like what you just mentioned about Sandhand on the Haze. You're absolutely correct. Very long range, but at the same time, I think this ERM specifically has been one where a lot of our Hazes have shown us some really nice up close and personal fighting capabilities, right? We saw multiple meat grinders yesterday with the SMG burst after blinking in, hitting multiple targets and shredding their HP bar super late into the game with the Hellfire upgrades. It will hurt a lot. If we're able to see that today from Sandhands as well, we know the kind of devastation it can cause from the results we saw yesterday. Oh, absolutely, Sandhands is a player that is capable of pulling stuff off like that. Everyone's going to have to be scared. Just because you have a Haze does not mean you can only play super close to try to get the killer. You have to make sure that you're not all grouping up together, because a player, again, like at the level of Sandhand, is not going to let that go that easily.
Yeah, that is one of the strengths of Haze, is she also has that burst as well for that close range. So if you do end up, getting locked down by any CC, Hayes can definitely capitalize on that. And yeah, we do have a couple early game deaths. So Blanche did end up TPing in into Forest and did end up getting caught by Auto Arms, as Auto Arms was already fully grouped. Sin will end up losing their Kiara. So yeah, oh, we do have another pick as well. Fauna might die to Revolo here, but looks like Sparkle Esports is end up grouped up now, and a great double poly coming out from... Oh, wait a second. It looks like a nice Johan Q to get the root off to get a lot of damage as well. We'll be able to snipe one of them. Great change coming out from Scarlet, and yeah, they will be able to actually trade another kill. So Daeyoung Cyber actually we'll get 2 kills off of that for Revolo's life. So a 2-for-1 trade, despite it being a 2v3. So very, very nicely played by them. They're able to actually pick up 2 kills. Definitely going to be happy with that. And yeah, looks like another fight on the top side here. The Soul Sealer just going to be procced, but Babo gonna use their change forward. Can they get the poly off here? I don't think so. Second's just gonna walk away.
Still a little bit too early in the game for Pablo to continue chaining the change like that, so it's completely fine. They're trying to look for early game kills. They've already got 1, I think it was. No, they got 3 already, so the early game couple kills that we usually tend to see DHC and J grab is already unlocked, right? That's the slight win condition they go for, indeed. So I'd like to start that they are all having. But I kind of want to start talking about game number 2 already, since we do know that Fauna is not going to be able to play this Chloe, and on top of it,
oh, you're right.
Cadmus playing the Johan. There is a possibility where even Johan could be banned, which means Johan, he's also in trouble.
I don't think I've ever seen Fauna play anything but Chloe, so I'm really curious on what he's gonna pick, because everyone knows, you know, Fauna for that Chloe. He's basically, you know, the Chloe main in Korea, so yeah, he's gonna have to, you know, go into his bag, gonna have to look for, you know, some characters, and gonna have to pick something up here, because yeah, that's gonna be off the table. Dasu gonna get caught, and oh, great blink away, and great knockout. I think I'm gonna follow up. I didn't be able to kill Bear. Looks like no. KCW gonna jump on board. A great bat skill from the Suwa, gonna knock KCW into the wall, and they're gonna be able to grab that kill.
Yeah, I don't think they were ever gonna be able to salvage that situation, especially if a dialing gets taken that low. There's way too much crowd control this early game for a Yan to try turning that situation, unless they all group up together, and even then, both Suwa as well as the Marcus, a little bit too tanky for an early game Yan to try wombo comboing that all down. Another fight, Team Sin in a little bit of trouble as Sakin, I think he popped the Soul Link first, so he's gonna have to completely book it. He is alive, and luckily for him, that was for good reason, because Liguri is about to get taken down too. Plague is over. He's trying to dodge as much as things possible. Oh, but the blink comes in from Song Harang. Super close. I do like the attempt with the quick cut, but at least Sakin stays alive. Extremely close fight for Team Sin and early on in the game.
Yeah, great find there from Sangkarang, blinking forward, able to recognize we will be able to get that kill. On our top side though, DHC gonna pop the Soul Stealer, we'll be able to catch up to this dial-in. There's a the IW, and yeah, they will be able to get that knock up as well from the Marcus, and we'll be able to secure another kill.
Oh!
And on the top side, ooh, a great knock into the wall there, but yeah, Sengal Dabi will just jump over, and they're gonna be able to turn. The Suwa will end up falling. Buzzer will end up going down, and it looks like the members of UX will be forced to retreat here.
And classic Nadim players again this weekend, right? Just using their monkey wire so expertly. Even while fighting the Suwa at that close of range, he never decided to use it. Waited until some real dangerous situation occurred, which was right when Marcus decided to use the White Lily over the wall, and then the monkey wire over the wall by themselves. It's not like Marcus can follow along outside that without investing anything big from his cooldowns. I like it, I like it, I like it. A lot of these fights already in game number 1, we're seeing these players micro extremely well, being decided by very close margins, and I would have to assume that as the game itself goes on, those close margins, the fact that some teams are winning from that, oh, that close margin is going to expand so much more.
Great knock up there from Marcus, actually catch the Chukai from their dash away, but Fierce is not really grouped up here. Roger maybe gonna find an angle, another great knock into the wall, and ooh, great blink there, great response there from the Nadine, actually gonna be able to blink away from the Don Quixote, and they're just gonna burst the Suwa down. The Suwa's already dead, but wait a second, Marcus is going crazy here. He is gonna be able to kill that Nadine by himself. Will he be able to get the Adriana as well. There is the slow coming out from the ERM. Great cocktail parties. Ryo is doing so much damage back into both Bomb and EA trying to chase, and there is the white Lily. Very, very nicely played. Gonna be able to get on out of there. Dylan gonna look for the Johan. Will be able to trade. KCW already on the floor here, so it is gonna be Babo. Gonna be by himself. They're gonna be able to trade 2 for 1 or 1 for 2. Gonna go over to the side of Team Sin. And yeah, great kills, great trades going around for some of these teams. Looks like Alpha is going to be spawning in Fire Station here. So JCNJ, gonna posture up. There looks like we do have another fighter on our hands.
Yeah, I don't really think there was too much invested from Team Sparkle Esports though. Look at that, they all have their ultimates back up. Plague is activated, but Cadmus has already taken extremely low from the fight. This is not looking good at all. Wildcards was already invested, and the fight is going to continue on. Nope, they're not dead yet, but Revolu as well as Cadmus is going to fall. The Marcus has to run. On the flip side, at the bottom side of our map, JCP's already taken down to the ground. Sebi just about to get taken down too. He keeps himself alive, but sniped down by a rocket. Sadhand will still get taken down as the rest of Blanche jumps on him, trying to go for the greed kill. Nicely done from both of these teams. 2 for 1 in favor of Team Blanche.
Yeah, I mean, on the top side, I'm surprised the Marcus just decided to leave, but I guess they just decided that the fight was already lost when, you know, Sin did end up using the Soul Stealer to the back line. But Cadmus was able to live for a lot longer than I thought, right, with the Faith Unwavering. They did end up, you know, proccing that when the Kiara used her ultimate, so the Kiara wasn't able to get their execute off. But yeah, Dina was just nowhere nearby because it looks like Sin just walked past him. So they just decided to give that one up. And yeah, looks like did go over to the side of Team Sin. Sin now sitting on 4 field kills, getting that alpha as well. So they're going to be pretty sitting in a pretty comfortable position for themselves.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think just this entire game in general has been much more of a controlled fighting game than yesterday, right? Yesterday was a lot more chaotic with a lot of these teams suffering a lot of picks, but today it's been a lot more of just whole overall team fights. We have a ton more kills compared to yesterday though. Like look, I'm just doing rough calculations right now. We're already over 20 by night number 2, but it feels much more in line with what you would normally see in an Eternal Return Masters, where everyone is team fighting to get these kills instead of looking for these individual picks in the earlier stage of the game like we saw yesterday.
It does seem like a more controlled environment, I would say, for this lobby. Oh, Ryori kind of caught by himself here. Sebi gonna dash on in, but Ryori got a response with their dash themselves here. We do have a lot of teams on the bottom side in Uptown here. Cinema, Dina getting chunked down all the way down to 1 HP, and looks like Ryori is going to tank some timer for this tree. It's always a good idea to do this because timer doesn't really mean as much in the early game, so getting this, you know, transition for your team makes your team, you know, so much more powerful. And you're only spending about looks like he spent 17 seconds to grab that tree. You basically get the timer back as long as you get some kills, right? And you know, if you are able to get these items for free, you're gonna be able to get so much more combat power for these team fights to get that or to get those kills, you know, from being, you know, that much more powerful.
Indeed. It is a little bit annoying though, because you can see on the minimap that it is going to reopen back, right, Forest?
Yeah.
You hate to see that sometimes where an objective that you want to go for is closed, but it's going to open in the next rotation, so you're just sitting there like wondering, hey, should I tank timer for this? And in the situation of Tangled Obby, I guess they did decide that it was going to be worth it. Hopefully it is, because now they're getting corralled by the members of DHCNJ. Any small mispositionings from this team will be problematic. Okay, Firescape in, Pegsu trying to aim for something. He baits out a lot of skills, but now he's just getting targeted down by the food for thought. Pablo has an isolated 1v1 up against Ryori. The shields are a little bit too good. I think Ryori's in a bit of trouble. Indeed, change should come through, and I think that's going to call it for the Adriana. Yeah. Fantastic bait coming in from DHCNJ, especially Pegsu. He eats up so many skills from the side of the Shukai and the Nadine.
Yeah, I think that is the drink up from the dial-in, you know, having that damage reduction. I think it's about 60 to 70%, so very, very nicely played from that dial-in. I'm surprised they weren't able to, you know, fully capitalize on that, on the dial-in, but yeah, the dial-in just living for so long there, and then the Adriana kind of isolated out because it looks like they tried to force and they tried to send on the dial-in a little too hard, and, you know, it ended up costing them Ryoi's life there. As I do like
Love
this angle.
this, yep.
They don't have any knowledge that there is a Yan behind, so if the Yan can find a good angle to go in here, there's really not much.
Oh, they're
But a lot of poke coming out from Briori. Adrian is just gonna step up here. Maybe they can get some more. Gonna get the burn onto Dylan again. Here's the knockup coming out from Glove. Polymorph invested, and here's the ultimate coming out. And yeah, looks like the Emma is just gonna straight up fall there, as it looks like Team DHCNJ is gonna be forced to retreat, and that will be a minus 250. And look at the credit counts from Team DHCNJ. You kind of have to wonder, you know, was it really worth to take these fights? They're sitting on about 1,000, maybe 200 credits combined for their team. So, you know, maybe if they called in there, if they had those extra items, maybe they wouldn't have been able to win that one out.
You're right, this is something that we see DHCNJ do quite often though, where they just hold on to their credits until some really high amount for some reason, especially towards the later stages of night number 3. I guess they got overconfident by the fact that they just won the fight pretty single-handedly.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the situation was a little bit different there because Auto Arms was a lot more grouped up. Oh, not Auto Arms, sorry. It was Tangle Dobby. They were much more grouped up in that situation, and there was no pick opportunity. The flank angle from the Yam was really good, but it didn't work, right? You have to get those flank angles actually set and get it done if you're going to do something like that. Everybody was a bit too split apart. The poke was a little bit too good, exactly as you said. And starting from there, you just gotta back away.
Yeah, this Adriana is quite the menace. If you have nothing to really check into it, if you have no engage, like no hard engage, they do have some healing from the Shukai as well to, you know, kind of play into other teams' pokes. And if you're playing a poke battle into Adriana, especially if the Adriana like has, you know, a chaser or just has, you know, items online, has that blood cloak, the chaser to, you know, kind of pop that spirit harvest, it's really hard, you know, for teams to kind of play into that.
Indeed. Alright, so what is the game state right now? We're about to head into day number 4. It's still all 24 players teams, alive. Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. Considering the number of kills that we have, every team is still alive, every players are still alive, but now the map is really starting to close in. It's gonna be School as a couple teams hanging around here. DHCNJ looking to get a fight up against Pengsu. That's really bad. He had nothing available in his kit. Spirited kicks were gone. Striking Tiger, there was no angle on it. Fantastic catch by Dina, I think it was, right? Yeah,
Dina getting that burger flip and nicely comboed into the blank cartridge from the Aya to force or to make sure that the D-Lane could not respond with, you know, their Striking Tiger or maybe a blink away. So very nicely played from the Young Cybers, able to recognize that, you know, the Dylan was a little too far forward. And on the other side though, Blanche maybe gonna be able to find Team Auto Arms here, gonna full send it. There is another team nearby, so I think Auto Arms probably don't want to take this fight, as they do know there was a team just behind them. It looks like, yeah, they're just gonna go straight on in.
Oh my goodness.
Alonso is gonna get instantly bursted down. And I think that is going to be it for Team Auto Arms here. The third party is here. Team Tangle Dobby did end up wrapping around. But wait a second. Blanche is actually going to go on to the side of Team Tangle Dobby. And Team Tangle Dobby will actually lose their Nadine, as Cenifine is probably going to look for some more.
Yeah, I don't know if Cinema should be staying as long as possible. I highly think that Cinema should have died there, but everyone just turned the attention to each other. Luckily, Auto Arms just manages to somehow stay alive. He just bobs and weaves through all the teams that were sitting inside a beach, manages to get out of that zone. Does not mean that he's out of any danger, but man, I genuinely feel like he should have died. He barely has enough credits, I think, to get the reses. Oh, but he's dead! He got caught out by Sparkle Esports.
Oh, that is a disaster. And yeah, that will be Team Auto Arms going out in 8th place. Our first team, unfortunately, dying in game number 1 here. We do have Team Blanche. They will be contesting the wick line here. We did see the item. Look at the items on Sua. The Sua has 2 bloods with that prominence. They are looking very good. Ooh, and oh my god. Sebi finds that angle with that ultimate and that burger flip. But wait a second, are they gonna be able to kill the Sebi here? Sebi just living for so long. This Marcus is so tanky with that Lenny, and they're just gonna be able to gets the... I'm not sure if they did end up getting the wick line, but the items will definitely go over to Team Sparkle Esports, and they're going to be sitting very, very comfortably.
Yep, the Tetragon down from DHCNJ. They've already been cornered as EA poking a lot onto Bubba. They are just going to turn tail straight into Alley. Sebi still on the chase. He wants more. He doesn't want to fight Sparkle Esports, but maybe he wants to fight Team Tangle Dobby. A lot of damage taken from Sebi. This does allow at least Senafine to try going in, but not going to guarantee any fights. I love this, right? Because you know that Sebi's going to be out of the fight for a while. Just get a little bit more pressure in. No need to force anything. There's absolutely zero reason to. And now you created yourself a little bit of space. You know you're going to be safe. Sebi is fully restored back up to full HP, and he still is really close to getting that Smash to Smithereens back up. Ryori is still waiting on cooldowns, and then Nadine gets caught out. Sebi gets an angle onto Ryori. He should have Smash to Smithereens up in just a moment. Ryori's in a whole lot of trouble. There it is, 1-2 and a burger flip. That should be a dead Adriana in just a second. The chase comes in, right click in, terminates, coming in from Bear.
Yeah, very, very nicely played by Blanche. Senafine finding that angle, getting that knock up onto that Nadine. Once the Nadine is kind of caught there, and you know the amount of items Team Blanche has, I think they just decide to reset, come back and retake the fight because they know how much of an item difference and how much of an advantage they have over the enemy team. You did see the items on Team Tangle Dobby before they went down to Nadine, only sitting on 3 items. They just call in that blood for that chaser, but it is just not enough to kill the team of Team Blanche here. Wait a second, Team Blanche is going to send it onto Team Sparkle Esports, but there's a third party, so it looks like they will just back on out of there.
Sebi getting a little bit finicky.
Not Team Blanche, it was Team the Young Cybers.
Yeah, they were the ones third partying, if you want to say Blanche was there for that one. But yes, you're right. Sebi getting a little bit finicky with the Smash to Smithereens. He was just joining the party a little bit too late. But here we go. Sparkle Esports just going to be attempting to run away, and they actually, as a matter of fact, do. You're right. Nina does end up falling down, so thank God that all of them managed to get out. It is day number 5, which means no more reses coming through from the classic consoles. It means everyone's going to be in trouble. Oh my God, it's a perfect split! The Red Sea has been split by Songharang, and DHCNJ was stuck in the middle of it. My God, now they're getting collapsed. Bubble with a perfect change over the wall, but the damage is already done. KCW gets caught out. He's trying to stay alive too. Smash the Smithereens out. I do not believe that the Cian will stay alive much longer. Songharang with another beautiful blast wave.
Yeah, and a great vision play from Team Sparkle Esports. Gonna sit in that corner, and if you get caught by Team Sparkle Esports, you're just dead. Even if you're a tank, you just get one shot by the amount of damage that Team Sparkle Esports have and the amount of CC. Oh, we do have maybe another fight on our hands. Team DHCJ, they do still have the wick line, but I don't think they're that strong, so they're just gonna back on out of there. The Marcus is still susceptible to being, completely bursted down because of, the amount of burst on Team Sparkle Esports. So it looks like Team the Young Cybers are just gonna back away here. Team Fearx, they might walk down and take this fight, but you look on the side of Fearx, they're only sitting on 1 field kill, so they might not be as strong. But I think they do want to posture up. Sungharang gonna set up a lot of bombs on the side down here. Maybe gonna find an angle with the Smash of Smithereens. Maybe get a good burger flip on these backliners. One of these backliners gets burger flipped in. They're probably as good as dead. So maybe they're gonna be able to look for that angle here. Looks like on the top side, Senafine gonna jump on in. Gonna be able to get a lot of damage onto Dina. There is the cartridge, and there's just not much that the Young Cybers can do. As once, the Sue and the Marcus get on top of you with that, Lenny, they will be able to just, wreak havoc on your team here. Rosner trying to 1v1 Fauna here, but will probably end up falling. The Solik, it does end up popping, but Bomb is actually just winning the 1v2 on the top side. Sungharang will probably end up falling to this Marcus. Blast Wave does end up coming out, but it is going to be a little too late. Scarlet does end up getting the nice double poly into EA here. All Sparkle Esports needs to do is live here, but look at the timer. They need to get back in. They need to get into the zone here. But there is another team, Team Blanche, on the top side. There's the double polymorph into Bomb. Fauna will end up getting into the zone here. Ooh, Bomb! I saw the angle. I saw what he tried to do. He tried to use that. He tried to use that E to maybe try knocking Fauna out of the zone before the timer hit. But it looks like they will be able to get the res off. But the amount of timer is spent trying to get back into the zone here. Team Sparkle Esports just need to send it. They need to get a kill. They're going to look for Sebi. Great spell shield from the Suwa. no combo coming out from Team Circle Esports, and I think that is just going to be Blanche going to be able to win this one out. Team Circle Esports, they're forced in, they don't have any timer, and yeah, Team Blanche just going to be able to run the team over. Senafine, look at their items, the triple blood on the Suwa. It is going to be a tough task for Team Sin to win this one out.
Oh my god, Sin is gonna have a rough time doing this. The Johan not really gonna get that much healing off. Red shoes available for Senafine. That's 60% healing cut towards this Johan.
Yeah, but they do have the Kiara for the kill as well.
No, not like
Kiara
that.
does end up getting caught by the Spring Trap, and they're just going to use the Soul Shield to get away, and that forces the Kiara to use her ultimate back in. Wait a second, maybe the damage coming out. Ooh, but the Burger Flip going to be able to hit too. But wait a second, they do actually kill the Suwa with the Chloe. The Chloe damage is just way too much on this ADC with the support there as the Chloe's out.
Okay,
if
well,
the Kiara can live here, this should be Sin's game to win. The Chloe is full resetting on the backside. The shielding coming out from the Kiara is actually way too much, with the heals coming out from
Team
the Yon
Sin
as well. And Sin will be able to win this one out.
Okay, Team Sin knocking down the 16 kill Team Blanche. Incredible game coming through for our newcomers. They're going to be able to take away game number 1 with a victory on their hands. 8 kills on hand. They tie the overall number of points that Team Blanche gets from kills alone. Huge game for Team Sin to start the wildcards.
Yeah, I was a little worried there when the Kiara ulted in, but I think they just didn't focus their attention on that Kiara, and the Kiara was just able to live for so long with, you know, her shielding, with the Johan heals, and yeah, the Chloe, you just able to, you know, burst down the Suwa there. I think pop the Soul Link a little earlier and move Nina behind the Chloe, so the amount of, you know, true damage and just the auto attacks was just way too much, you know, for Suwa to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a really, really crazy game, especially the final fight there. I think that was really big because no shade over to Liguri, but that was the first meaningful plague totem I've seen from him the entire weekend. Because yesterday he used a lot of totems without popping the plague first, and it made a huge difference. I think he managed to heal somewhere about 300, 400 HP before he came out of the totem. Not from his plague alone, but he also got the healing from the Johan. That's what you need to do in order to stay alive as a Kiara, and that's exactly what happened. Kiara stayed alive for so long. He managed to plague 3 people at the same time with the Johan heals. You saw his health bar increasing during that totem. That is one of the beautiful mechanics that Kiara is able to have access to. Finally, we get to see it. Finally, we get to see how long Kiara can stay alive. And you know what? For Team Sin, it absolutely worked in their favor. They take down Team Blanche, who was dominating the entire game. 16 kills, as I say, remember. That's a lot, but in the end, it's just too much. Team Sin. What a beautiful fight.
Yeah, I think the Chloe and the, you know, Johan combo is just way too much for these other teams to handle. Obviously, the Kiara, you know, is there to you know, soak up a lot of damage and to, you know, provide that execution. But I think just the Chloe itself with this Johan is really, really devastating for these teams, because Johan, you know, giving the Chloe about maybe 40 extra attack power is quite a bit. You know, the Soul Link just does so much more damage, and then her auto attacks as well with her Qs. Like, she has pretty good AP scalings, and yeah, that's the reason why, you know, you saw the Suwa, you know, kind of gets melted down there in about like 2 to 3 seconds. The Suwa was a little too far forward. You know, Nina wrapped around behind her. The Chloe popped the Soul Link. It's way too much true damage, and then, you know, a couple auto attacks, and, you know, she did end up just going down.
Indeed, it was a pretty good game from Team Sin, but let's take a look at the scoreboard just to see where they really are at. Even after that, Blanche is still going to be in first place again with the 16 field kills. They managed to get that second place spot, so 5 additional points going in. They'll be sitting comfortably in first right now with 21. Team Sin in second place with 16, and Sparkle Esports will be rounding out our double-digit scores after Game 1 with 14 themselves. Extremely good game for the teams that really want to go for these really unorthodox compositions, right? In general, I think for Team Sparkle Esports and Team Sin, they definitely needed this game because of the Chloe ban coming up in game number 2.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
Yep.
Chloe is going to get banned, so Team Sin that's only been running the Chloe. We only saw them for the Chloe. What are they going to swap to? They got Fauna, who's only known to that Chloe. What are they going to swap to? These teams, are they prepared for this Chloe ban? We will find out going into game number 2 because, like I said yesterday, you got to be prepared for these bans when you are playing in competitive play.
Indeed, I really wish Fauna is ready for this. And I think, if anything, power to the lobby for managing to kind of pull out a Chloe ban, because I don't know if you knew recently, but Fauna hit rank 1, and he's been holding on to that spot with the Chloe for quite a while. Cinema going on to the Chloe, I think, definitely did ruin their chances of winning this game, right? Auto Arms couldn't really get anything done, especially towards the bottom side of the map, somewhere around, what I think it was night 3 or something like that. But it does really open up so many more options for the rest of the lobby in game number 2, as Sparkle Esports, for the first time, I think, ever since I've seen this team formed, has to divert away from their classic Chloe, Emma, and the Celine composition.
Celine, yeah. I'm really curious to see if they do end up just swapping Fauna to... Because there's no real ADC that also provides the same amount of CC as Chloe does. So I wonder what Fauna is going to play if they do end up... or if Song Harang and Scarlet do end up, sticking to their characters. What might Fauna be able to play to maybe, kind of stick into that role? Maybe he just goes onto a tank instead. We're going to have to see, as... Yeah, I mean, not only is Chloe banned, but Marcus is banned as well. We know how strong Marcus has been. Marcus is on this patch is just quite the menace. Just able to tank up so much damage, able to basically win these isolated 1v2s, just to do so much damage himself as well. So him being off the table, it might change up a lot of team dynamics here, because maybe some of these teams are relying on that Marcus, being that sole front line, be able to tank up so much damage. Because we do know Team Blanche, team that just ended up winning that, or not winning the game, but basically winning the round because they had the most points. They were on that Marcus Suha. So what are they gonna play?
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of things that especially Team Sparkle Esports and even Team Sin are going to have to consider for the next game. But I know what I have to consider for the next game is, will the Harbinger of Death in our chat be able to curse 2 teams yet again? Because that man was cheering for Auto Arms first, and then they got wiped out, and then he immediately shifted focus onto Tejon Cybers, and they also got wiped out. So I don't know what's happening anymore, but he's already begun cooking in the chat, my friend. We'll have to see how the entire evening is gonna go. I'll keep you guys updated on the progress of that as much as I can, because I am reading the chat to the right over here on my screen. I see it, and I see all of you guys' requests, but no, I'm not gonna do that, because we have freedom of speech. You get to say you get to speak your mind to a certain degree. To a certain degree, I still get the hand.
It is 6 games, so I'm sure they'll be able to get to at least one out of the 6 right? So
Clueless. He did manage to get the fact that Beta and Sejong was going to win groups yesterday, right? So.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give him that one, but today's a new day. Your accomplishments have been reset.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what these teams do end up swapping to. It's going to be quite the lobby. We're gonna have a lot of people a lot of people off on their off picks. So these teams will have to go into the bag here, as we will just jump straight into game number 2 here. What are we gonna have? We do have Cinema actually just gonna swap over to the Mai, so maybe we might actually have a Mai ban because of all the changes. And look at how many Mai picks we have now just coming out of the blue because of the Chloe and the Marcus ban. We got 4 Mai players, and Mai will be off the table for game number 3.
This is so weird, man. We just go one for another. Song Harang, considering the Nathapon, dude, this is a pick I haven't seen in forever. But no, they're for now gonna hold on to the Emma and Celine. No way, dude. This is so funny.
Are they gonna force the Yon ban?
I guess so.
Crazy, because now KCW and Bomb are gonna be forced off. Actually, I guess Bomb wasn't really playing.
Yeah, he's just playing because of the Marcus ban.
Yeah, so Bomb will probably just swap over, as both Fauna and Bomb, they just switch over to the Yon, and now KCW is the one in trouble.
This is so funny. We're just gonna be rotating bans back and forth. I would have to assume that it's gonna be the same situation next game, unless we do decide to see Cinema opting to swap off of the Chloe, just letting the Chloe go in exchange for a better game number 3 for his team. But this is hilarious. You're right. Now KCW has to play something else, and now I'm getting really excited because KCW. Listen, man, if you've been watching,
he has like a Nikki, right? He's
Yeah.
played like a bunch of other characters, so I think he should be okay.
That's
He
what
does
I'm
have,
waiting
like,
for.
He does have like a lot in the bag, and I think Nikki wouldn't be that bad in their team comp. Actually, I mean, I guess the Yan is just so much better. And, the Yan provides so much CC, so much damage as well for their team, so much burst damage. While Nikki's damage isn't that bursty. Does have a lot of CC, or she does have a lot of CC, with that Peerage uppercut, but it's not as much as the Yan lockdown. So we're gonna have to see what these teams do, or what he does end up swapping to, because yeah, I think Fauna just decided, might as well get something banned here. I don't know if I've ever seen Fauna play the Yan before, so
I don't think I've ever seen him play it on stream either.
maybe he's been cooking with this character in ranked.
We will have to see. But here we go, guys. Game 2 is underway. I apologize. We're going to go into a quick break after this one just to give these players a little bit of a moment. And there's going to be a lot to discuss for these teams. Weird, unorthodox bans coming through at some of the most awkward times already in the start of the series. We got the Chloe ban and the Marcus ban for game number 2, and we got the Yam ban coming through with KCW and ARMS for game number 3. We'll see what kind of options these teams decide to go for, but for now, all they can do is play with the options they are given. Although I will say, Sad Hands back on the Rozzy for this one. I do like it.
Yeah, I like that as well, because we've seen Sad Hands, really perform in this character. He's just so clean on the Rozzy. So yeah, hopefully he's gonna be able to show us, why this character is so strong. And on the side of Sin, the Chloe player, they went to a Bernice, so they have a Bernice pick. Bernice definitely not as good as Chloe in terms of, the amount of sustain Chloe has with that Soul Link, and the amount of damage I would say Chloe has as well. If you are able to get that Soul Link and Nina combo. But Bernice still able to provide a lot of damage. But also another downside to Bernice is that, they are a lot more close range. So, teams will be able to maybe capitalize on that if they do end up grouping up, because I think Team Sin, might have the problem of them stacking up now together. On the bottom side here, we do have Team Sebi gonna try to go in 1v3, just gonna die to the side of Team Dating Cybers there for the third party. Ervolu maybe gonna try looking for an angle there. Dina able to get a lot of damage off. There is the Sun E as well gonna come out, and Cinema will end up falling. So we'll go over to Team Dating Cybers. A nice 2 kills for them. Team Auto Arms, they did end up picking 1, I think, from Team Sin a little earlier, so not too bad for them as well.
I'm Johan, also getting taken down. It's not that bad. I guess this is much more akin to what we saw yesterday when it comes to the early game picks, which is, again, not that bad. It's still day number 1. As soon as night number 1 hits, though, we should see a lot of our teams starting to group up. And as a matter of fact, we already do see that. 2 teams sitting inside of Forest and School. They're already grouped up, potentially looking for those chickens, but you know how Celine works. That is going to be easy rotations coming in. Auto Arms in a little bit of trouble as the damage rotations are already pretty good. Fauna getting a pretty nice Tetragon rotation, and the blink in with the leaping knee. He does end up getting it.
On this Yan.
Yes, sir. 2 people down from Team Auto Arms. That is Team Sparkle Esports picking up 2 themselves.
Yeah, I agree. Really nicely played from Fauna. They're able to get that nice knock from that Tetragon. Going to be able to knock the Mai back in, and then at the very end there, going to get that nice knock up. Going to be able to kill Sad Hands as well. So very nicely played from Fauna. Going to be able to pick up 2 for themselves there. Rosner going to be able to find Riori. Looks like Team Tangled Dobby was a little split here, so they will end up losing a member here as KCW. Maybe going to be able to find Scarlet here. Looks like Scarlet is just going to use that change over the wall on the bottom side of the map. The Young Cyber is going to be able to pick 1 for themselves, so looks like we're going back to that to yesterday, where a lot of players are kind of getting picked off here, split up. Maybe trying to split farm, get those extra credits, but it's not really working out for them, as these other teams that are sort of grouped up, they are running into some trouble.
Ooh, fantastic angle for Glove. That's a really tough wall to jump, by the way, especially if you include the extra distance of the box that he had to jump over. But he does end up making it, although Revolu is on the... Rosner is on the chase, I'm sorry. Glove in a little bit of trouble as Hertabi also takes the speed gate. So yeah, there goes the Shukai. He's going to sacrifice his life in exchange for his Nadines. Fauna in a little bit of trouble. Quick spin doesn't really do anything. Beautiful 4-stack coming from Song Hanang. But nothing, of course, being done as the damage just isn't there yet for the Celine, as it is still night number 1. No transitions active for her at all.
Yeah, I didn't really notice as well. Team Blanche, they actually did end up swapping their comp entirely with that Marcus ban. They're going to be on that My, Dema, and Pre. I think we did see this comp from them the other day as well. Ooh, great parry from JCP, going to dodge out on that Don Quixote. Sad hands, going to get some damage back. There's a lot of poke on the side of BNK Furex. Do have the ERM Q, they do have those Sua Qs, Sua Don Quixotes as well. Bum, gonna jump on forward. The taunt isn't gonna connect there. Rosner, Don Quixote is gonna go wide and is just gonna focus all their attention onto the Sua, and the Sua is gonna end up Sua is gonna end up falling there. Great pork chop in from Cinema. Are they gonna be able to find anything? Looks like Team Furex and Bum, or sorry, and E8 are just gonna get on out of there. JCP jumped on forward. Completely isolated, and they will just be the one that just falls there. Sad Hands gonna try looking for some damage. Great taunt, and
they get bumped. They win.
Comes out as well, and oh, very nicely played from Sad Hands. I don't know if you noticed that, but he stopped auto attacking when that top of skill did end up coming out. Great patience from Sad Hands, and gonna be able to explode his ultimate right after, and gonna be able to take another kill for himself.
Sadhan's reaction time is just really good. I've seen him do that constantly, where he always manages to somehow dodge out on those damage reversal or damage immunity rotations. He's pretty good at doing that stuff, so nicely done for him. And with that, the Tree of Life actually does go into the hands of
yeah, because Bomb was the one who did end up getting it, and they do end up securing the Yon kill there, so yeah, will be... I think it did go over into the hands of Sad Hands. Sad Hands did end up getting that Alexander online, so they're going to be pretty strong. They're going to be sitting nicely there, as the rest of Team Auto Arms is going to, get their buy-ins. This is the time where the game slows down a bit. You see this time and time again, right? You want to make sure you buy on this rotation before the first objective, before all the alphas, before all the battle zones come up. You're going to see, if you look at the credit counts on most of these teams here, all of these teams did end up buying. You only have Team Blanche here who didn't buy because they are gonna just stay on the top side of Temple. They're gonna greed for that Lumi robot for those credits, and then they're probably gonna rotate into the Temple farm.
They're probably going to prioritize a lot of items over onto Sebi. There is a certain breakpoint that you want to hit on this character, which is 2 trees and a force core. You want to go for the Levatine. You got the tactical ops helmet if you are going down that route, and then the Helix. Once you get those 3 items, your team fighting is absurdly strong. Priya doesn't need too many items to be strong right now too, because Cataclysm just in and of itself is such a strong item. But now that the battle zones begin, we'll see what the results are looking like. We got the Burmese Bird flying around right now. Glove in a bit of trouble as he's walking around. He's got the healing drone. The resets aren't going to come through.
But they don't have time. They gotta
kills, yep, they gotta get kills. I don't think it's happening though, as Glove is already taken down. Serdabi stuck in the corner. He's going to run out of time. Pop. Team Sin manages to pick up the battle zone on the southern side of the map inside Cemetery. DHCNJ in a bit of trouble as the initiation from Fauna comes through. He takes the one up.
Yeah, getting a 1-up on KCW there with that White Lily. Very nicely played from Team Sparkle Esports. Again, another 2 kills from DHCNJ. And yeah, that is what you want to see, from your main man that's playing an off pick. So very, very nicely done from him. And yeah, I would like to comment on, Team Sin, right? This Johan pick is just such a, I would say, so powerful to these other teams, because a lot of teams are not respecting, the amount of healing that the Johan is doing, and it's just, providing so much for the side of Team Sin, especially because, it is like a Kiara as well who has that inbuilt healing too, and a Bernice who, just needs to stay alive to get those, or to get as much damage off as possible.
Yeah, indeed. This is really, really weird ERM that you and I are experiencing this weekend. But I'm all for it, because it's going to be a nice setup for the finals. Holy crap, Dobby just gets obliterated. Sadhand trying to chase down Glove. His rotation's good, but he misses the Semtex. That's not you, Sadhand. What happened for a second? He got happy-handed for a second. Riori's going to jump over the wall. He's going to be completely fine. Fauna is still trying to do stuff. He will end up taking down a member. Peksu is going to fall. So DHC and J falling down yet again to Team Sparkle Esports. Holy crap.
It looks like Sad Hands was able to find the thing anyway, so it wasn't too bad. Ooh, but I'm actually going to be able to dodge out on that knock-up from the Dema Marlene, but it doesn't really matter as looks like they will be able to secure that one. Raza going to try to get away. Good blink over, but yeah, going to get locked up by the Mai and the Dema Marlene, so that is going to be a minus 250 actually from BNK Fearx. The bomb did end up dying a little earlier, so it's not too bad.
Parry.
Ooh, good patience from Sad Hands there. He knows he can't really walk up into this team, as it looks like they will end up losing one. They do end up getting one kill. They will end up getting Dina, but it will be a minus 250 going from the side of Team Auto Arms as well. A little unfortunate, but yeah, looks like that is the way the cookie crumbles, as the Young Cybers, I think they're in a pretty comfortable position. They won that battle zone. They did spend, most of their credits, so they probably up, some items into Team Auto Arms, and they will be able to win that one out.
Oh yeah, if anything, kudos to JCP for being able to utilize the parry to actually get the kill, right? He knew he was in trouble, he was stuck in a corner. Fiora is not really good at getting out of those kind of situations. He just stuck the kill and took his death for it. It's all fine and dandy. Minus 250 isn't that big of a deal as long as you can recover from that one. The Sparkle Esports in a bit of trouble as the Yan not going to be able to salvage this unless... yeah, no, it's not happening. Team Blanche picks up a kill onto Scarlet, and Mr. Yana is going to have to run away for himself. Minus 250 over onto the side of Team Sparkle Esports.
Look at the credit of Sparkle Esports. They have nothing to their name, so they will get sent pretty far behind. Once you're in this position, when you do end up taking an early day 3 death and you just spot out, it's like one of the worst feelings, because there's really not much you could do. So you just have to farm up. Your third member is going to lose out on so much farm. You're going to lose out on so much just natural regen credits, because when you are dead, you don't really get any of the credits back. So they will be losing out on a lot of money, and it will cost them down the line maybe 2, maybe 3 transitions. So yeah, a little unfortunate, but that is it is what it is. They will just have to play around that. Their tempo is going to get sent pretty far behind, though, as Team Auto Arms will end up walking down over here. Do have some credits, so I wonder if they will end up buying here, or if they will just end up saving for these 4 scores, maybe for those 4 score chess pieces if they don't have them yet.
Yeah, and I love the fact, by the way, that Sparkle Esports is preemptively teleporting into Hotel. They need the animals. They know that the zone's opening back up. They know that the respawn comes again. But here we go. Bomb, huge jump onto Sardabi, and another jump onto Sardabi. But somehow he still stays alive. But look at this. Glove is way too isolated. There goes the Nadine. What a fantastic catch up by Bomb. Completely splitting apart the members of Team Tangle Dabi. Fox. Oh, not Fox. E8 just barely finding something. Riori, does he have a cocktail party? No, you just gotta prioritize your life. Well done by Riori to keep himself alive too, so it's gonna be a minus 250 instead of a minus 500. But that all the credit for that one goes to Bob. He sets that up perfectly.
This is very uncharacteristic of Tangle Dabi. He's always getting caught in these team fights. I think almost every team fight so far that Tangle Dabi has had, the Nin, always getting picked off. It's a lot different from yesterday, because yesterday he was playing really well. He was able to dodge out so many skills, using that monkey wire, using that blink. But yeah, I think it's just maybe an off game. Hopefully we'll see him do a lot better in the future games.
Listen, we're seeing some weird picks coming out from all of our players today. Sardabi, he's itching for that Luke. He's itching.
Does he play Luke?
No, dude, he was known for his Luke when he was playing with KCW.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, KCW's Sardabi was like Luke and Nikki.
Have we seen a Luke in ERM before? I don't think we have.
Yes, we have.
Yeah? Oh.
You haven't. I have. Sardabi back in his heydays with the Luke. Oh, baby.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, because so far when like the amount of the games and stuff I've been casting, like I don't think I've seen a Luke in ERM just yet, but maybe we might see it in the upcoming games here if he does end up swapping to that.
That's gonna be such a blast of the past. Look at the items, by the way, on Sebi. He's already sitting on his priority
they're sitting.
items.
I don't know if you saw, but the Priya was also sitting on full gold as well with that Holy Orders, that Courtier. And the Mai is also sitting on 2 with the blood. They just have that prominence for fun. Bear's gonna look for an engage here, gonna get a taunt onto the Bernice, but a great Echoes of the Earth gonna negate a lot of the damage here. Sebi gonna use their Twins Rush backwards.
Yuri is just
some damage back, but they're
Yo!
gonna jump back in. But yeah, there's no real follow-up. And look at the health bars on the side of Team Sin. No one is taking any damage. This Johan is just healing them all back up to full HP with the heal wind as well. Yeah, it's just clean fight coming out from Team Sin.
That is an actual definition of a raid boss, man. That Kiara refused to go below anything below 50% HP. Absolutely massive. And another fight being taken. Bomb gets a huge angle over onto Riori, but he does end up getting out. Sir Dobby also taken very low, and now Glove is completely isolated. Down he goes. Oh, Rosner in a little bit of an awkward spot. He still stays alive. The spell shield allowing him to stay alive after both the cocktail party and the wolf assault. Nicely done. Another minus 250 going into the hands of Team Tangle Dobby. 0 kills, by the way. They are struggling massively in game number 2.
Yeah, another minus 250. I think it's almost minus 750 now in total, so it's looking pretty bad for them. Great change. Great prep from Scarlet to put their hat over the wall there with the engage onto the mine. Just able to get on out of there. Team Blanche, maybe gonna look for an angle here. Team Daeyoung Cyber is gonna get a taunt onto the Priya. Centipede already chunked down to half HP. A lot of damage coming out from the side of Dina, but there's a lot of sustain, a lot of shielding coming out from the side of Blanche. As it looks like Daeyoung Cyber, they probably want this wick line. They're just going to back away here. Maybe they're actually going to retake the fight. The Sun Conjunct does end up landing onto Bear. Going to chunk him down a little bit here on top side here. Ooh, a great double knock from great find from Team. Oh, wait a second. The Fiora ACP is just going to trade back onto Bomb. And look at the amount of damage they are doing. The Suo just has so much sustain with those spell shields. It's just not enough damage coming out from JCP as the third party is here, so both teams will just end up splitting. So no teams will actually be falling from that there. As yeah, Auto Arm's gonna get on out of there. Wow, very nicely played from JCP, able to trade one back and almost do enough damage, but I think that spell shield from Suo is just a little too much, you know, for these characters that do have that magic damage, and yeah.
Oh,
Sebi whiff on the Twins Rush here, and now he's caught from Team DHC&J. Are they gonna get a parry? Oh, it's too early. Gonna use the parry on the first jump in from the mine, but looks like Team Daeyoung Cybers, they know there's another team nearby. They're just gonna back on out of there. Double poly goes through, but a great exclusive. But oh my god, the Dylan does end up actually not. I thought that was gonna be a really good Striking Tiger, because the Striking Tiger actually connected right as the White Lily ended up proccing, but it looks like they just ended up turning onto the island, and DHC&J, I think they're too far behind on items. They will end up falling here. Kiara is just going to come through.
Jesus.
They're just going to run over the side of Team Tangle Dobby. I think Team Tangle Dobby, they spent way too many credits. They're way too far behind, and they're just going to go down.
Yep, over on the western side of the map though, DHC&J in a little bit of trouble as Dina's going to probably pop the timer. Nope, he's going to stay alive, but of course his days are limited. Down he goes. Team Daejeon Cyber's in a lot of trouble as Sebi cannot pick up the kill onto Revolu, but they're down to 1. Credit count not looking too hot. It is pretty decent, but I don't know where that Gloomy is. You are not killing this one, Riori. Down he goes. Tangle Dobby, our first team to fall on day 5, by the way. Very, very delayed first team wipe.
Yeah, with 0 kills and 0 points. Ooh, Bomb getting a great combo onto Dasu, and KCW will end up falling as well. Very nicely played. These Yans are just able to set up so nicely for their team. I don't know if you saw, but Bomb getting that nice engage, setting up their Q, getting that knock up, and then the roundhouse kick into the wall just completely locked up the Dylan. There's not much really Dylan can do at that point. And it will be Team BNK Furex gonna secure another 2 kills, so they're sitting on 10 field kills for themselves.
This is a really good game. BNK Furex always does this, right? Where they play a very, very slow game, number 1, but as soon as they figure out the patterns to these games, they're gonna start ramping up. 10 kills for themselves with Bum sitting on an off pick. I'm going to consider it an off pick because he's been mostly picking the Marcus throughout the course of this weekend, but this is definitely one of his signature picks. He's managing to persuade people to not ban the Marcus because his Yen seeming super, super good today.
Yeah, but the Yan will be banned though, so they won't be able to play even if they do win here. But wait a second,
not like that.
walking up a little too far forward and will just end up dying to the side of Team Sparkle Esports. They just had no vision. They weren't able to see anything, and they got caught. Right? They didn't respect the vision play. They didn't respect the walls behind there.
They got
Walked
caught.
up. Yeah, just instantly bursted down. And when you get caught into a team like Sparkle Esports, there's really not much you could do.
That's really brutal. Look at the credit count on BNK Furex. Even if the IRM stays alive, it is impossible for her to get enough credits
Yeah,
within
and
the
I mean,
time
you're not
span.
going to be able to res with 7 teams,
Yeah.
you know, and 3 zones. Even you know, if Lumi does end up coming, you know,
Well-
perfectly, like, there's going to be teams to respond.
But we did see it yesterday, I think, where a team managed to kind of dodge out on a couple teams that were hanging around the zone. So it's not impossible, but with the credit count, yeah, it's actually impossible. There's the added extra factor that makes it extremely difficult for the actual reality to happen. But it's all good, though. BNK Furex, again, 10 kills is definitely not a
Yeah.
bad result. They just have to keep themselves alive and get placement points at this point.
Yeah, Team Sparkle Esports actually aren't as strong this game. I don't know if you saw Scarlett's items, but she's only sitting on, or they're only sitting on 3, right? They're not sitting on the chest piece or the arm piece. They do have the percent amp with that persona, but yeah, they're not sitting in too much of a comfortable spot here. E8, oh, actually gonna dodge out. They actually don't see the other team because of how vision works. Auto Arms gonna take the fight into Blanche here. Sadhand's just not able to do enough damage. With JCP. JCP gonna be the one falling there as Team Blanche. This team has a lot of sustain with this Priya, and they are, you know, sitting on that Demo Marlene. You know, Demo Marlene just, you know, a nice tanky character. Ooh, great damage, great poke coming out from Songarong. Will be able to get some more there. Gonna be able to get a couple bombs, but we do have a lot of rat teams here. Wait a second, Auto Arms is gonna get the rest.
Oh, yeah,
Oh no,
they
they don't
are.
have any timer. They don't have any timer. I
Oh,
don't think. It
13
doesn't matter.
seconds. JCP was sitting outside. By the way,
They're basically forced in here. They're gonna have to look for an angle, and I think JCP is just gonna explode.
indeed. Also, real quick, Sebi's sitting on a very interesting build for Debbie and Marlene. We saw this a
2-1,
long
boom.
time ago. There's the pop. JCP's going to go down. Team Blanche picks up the kill. Now, this is weird, though, because the IRM comes in. Team
I like
Blanche
the
picks up the
wraparound
kill.
from
Sebi
Esports.
is going to have to use the Twins rush out. The team is way too split. The parry comes out, but Sandham picks up the kill. Team Auto Arms trying to salvage this to the best of their ability, but Sparkle Esports is already in. They're trying to find something. Gun vault over. Bear should die to Sandham. There it is. But now Cinema is completely caught out. Beautiful timing on the exclusive, but Sandham is way too far away. Sparkle Esports should be able to take away the battles, the temporary zone inside of Beach, unless, yeah, nothing can happen.
Yeah,
Sparkle
great.
Esports, 12 kills.
Great macro play from Sparkle Esports, actually wrapping around because they know there's a lot of teams in the zone. They probably recognize, or they probably knew that Sin had the other zone to themselves, so you know, wrapping around there, letting these other teams fight it out first, and then coming around for the third party. Very nicely done for them, and you know they will reap all the rewards, get all those kills, gonna be able to get all those credits, and gonna be able to get a blood here. I think it's probably gonna go over to the Emma for that. Necronomicon is what I think is going to come out here. Or maybe it might go over for that bikini for Scarlet. Oh, actually, it's just going to go over for a chaser, it looks like.
Yeah, I saw the Imugi's Pearl on him earlier. They definitely need that chaser if they want to try cutting through any of the sustain. Team
Yeah,
Sin
they have, yeah, Team Sin, they have a lot of damage. Ooh, I like this. So Scarlet kind of caught here. I don't know if they know Lugreed is there. I think they should recognize now. Yeah, they're going to be able to, yeah. The one good thing about Team Sparkle Esports is they have a lot of AoE damage, and Team Sin, you know, basically has to group up because of the way, you know, Johan works, where Johan has to be close for the heal with the Unwavering. Looks like they're gonna send it here. Luggery gonna get some damage. Ooh,
wow.
no, the ultimate is
my
gonna send, but wait a second, they're just gonna send it back on in, and Scarlet's already gonna get chunked down. Sung Harong, though, is gonna be able to get a lot of damage off. That's the AoE damage I was talking about. They're gonna be able to burst down 2 members, and I think it's gonna be Sparkle Esports gonna come out on top there. That is the burst damage and the AoE damage that Sleen provides. Gonna be able to get so much damage off before he dies. Gonna be able to kill both the Johan and chunk the Kiara down to 1 HP, and yeah, that will seal the deal for that team.
And we get Fauna Zian as Mr. Yana's victory pose of all things.
That's crazy that Fauna didn't play Chloe and they won the game. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a wake-up call for Mr. Yana over there. That was a really good game from Team Sparkle Esports. Fauna really finding some incredible openings to these fights on a character that nobody really expected him to play. But the funny thing is, I meant to mention this during the middle of the game, That is exactly what he does on Chloe, by the way, where he just blinks in on the target and then uses a knockup
Yeah.
to set up the rest of his team. Yan does the exact same thing. That is so funny. The overall dynamics of the team itself actually didn't really change by that much just because he played Yan.
It's definitely more, committal because the
Oh, yeah,
Yan
absolutely.
needs to jump in a lot more deeper, while, the Chloe still has that range, right? 'Cause Chloe can just drop the Nina from a little farther back to get that knockup, or, Fauna will be able to follow up. Chloe will be able to follow up, from a little farther away. But yeah, Fauna just playing this Yan so well, able to get, these knockups, able to find these angles for their team. But you can't obviously discredit his teammates there.
Oh, yeah.
I think Sung Harang was kind of the star player in that team fight, was able to get so much damage off, like I was saying, right? So with this Johan, Bernice, Kiara pick, they basically kind of have to group up together. And when you are grouping up together into a Celine, if you're getting hit by these 2 to 3 man 4 bombs and these blast waves, you're just taking way too much damage. And it's really easy for Scarlet and Fauna to just clean up the fight, which is exactly what happened at the very end there. And yeah, I think it was a little forced on the side of Team Sin. The KR did end up sending it early, but I think they probably recognized that if you don't send it, we're just gonna get poked down by the Celine, by that Emma. So they kind of just had to look for an angle there. They'd have some traps to work with, so maybe they could have waited a little longer before pulling the trigger. Maybe they could have let them, kind of walk in a little bit more. But yeah, if you give zone control to a Celine, to an Emma, it is going to be a little hard, to kind of play around that.
Indeed, they're a really close range team composition with Team Sin, especially running the Bernice. At least with Chloe, you have an alternative way of initiating if you wanted to go for it. And on the note of Chloe, by the way, I really hate to say it, but I think Fauna had better accuracy on leaping knee knockups than he does on puppet 3D on Chloe. So that's a bit of a weird way to think about it like this. But here we go. Scores for post game number 2 comes through. Sparkle Esports, with that game alone, they're going to jump themselves all the way back up into first place. 37 points for that team. Kill lead as well as 25 kills overall. Blanche still in second place though. Definitely not a bad game coming out from them either. 23 kills and 31 points, whereas Team Sin, 27 points for themselves, still sitting in the top 3.
Yeah, and then we have Team Auto Arms with 17, so they're in the 4th place. And Biggie Ferex with 16, so the difference between 4th and 5th is only 1 point. And The Young Cybers with 14 as well, so a lot of I think the distribution, this time around with the Wildcards, it looks like it's going to be a lot more top heavy. The top, I think 2 teams had over 60 plus points compared to the rest of the lobby. The rest of the lobby, I think combined only had about 50. So yeah, I wonder, if teams are going to swap over, because we will have our break here. So teams will be able to maybe swap out, maybe go back to the drawing board, have a game plan for these upcoming bans, because yeah, if Chloe gets banned again, or if I think it was Mai's off the table now, right? So these teams will have to, come up with a strategy to kind of play around that.
Absolutely. But guys, as Super said, we're going to be going on to a break. We'll be back with you guys for games 3 and 4 of the Wildcard. So go grab a snack, go grab some water, go take a stretch. We'll see you guys back here in a couple minutes.
Take care.
숨바꼭질 시작이구나. 숨었지? 시작한다. 원래 순간은 아주 빠르고 영리한 거야. 아, 잘게 찢어져. 보여줄게. 놀래키는 일에는 자신 있어. 찾았다. 놀랐지? 이거 첫 번째로 당첨이야. 아하, 너네 거기 있었구나. 좀 많이 아플지도 몰라. 도망가면 안 돼. 끊고 죽여버릴지도 몰라. 지켜볼까? 좀 더 해치울 수 있다니까. 아직 멀었어. 사람들에게 행복을 선물하고 싶어. 태어나서 연애해본 적 없으면 마법사가 된다고 하잖아. 마술사는 될 수 있더라고. 마술사 등장! 새 무대를 준비해볼까? 지금 필요한 건 웃음과 마술이야. 동정과 카드, 어느 쪽이 좋아? 비비디 바비디 붐! 말하는 대로 이루어져라! 나에게 필요한 건 실력보다 미소. 어우, 좀 이쁘라니까. 표정이 왜 그래? 여기야! 우리 비둘기가 자기가 당신보다 머리 좋을 것 같대. 어떤 카드가 좋아? 널 위해 준비했어. 토끼와 함께. 우리 비둘기가 살려달래. 폭력 반대. 웃어줘.
대부분의 문제는 폭발로 해결돼. 예술은 폭발이야. 터뜨릴 준비는 끝났어.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the break. A quick one, I might add. It was only 3 minutes, which caught me off guard a little bit. I was trying to eat my chips, but it didn't work out. Welcome back, everybody. Games 1 and 2 were quite interesting, especially with the bands that came out, especially with the people that won, with the characters they play. But we're back now for games 3 and 4, and now we have to start looking at what these teams are planning on doing. We know the ground rules of what kind of character bands are potentially going to come through. Is that going to affect what some of these teams are going to play? Are we going to be seeing any player substitutions already at game number 3, or are we just going to go with the same old and have the same story pan out as we did in games 1 and 2?
Yeah, that's what I'm most interested about, because we do have the Yawn ban and the My ban coming through. I think the My ban is less demanding for some of these teams to swap, because a lot of these teams, I think their main team comp didn't revolve in the My. They only swapped to the My because of the first couple of bans with that Marcus and that who's the other pick? Marcus and Chloe. Yeah.
Indeed, yes. That's the problem, right? The Chloe ban came out in game number 1, but it actually enabled Team Sparkle Esports to find a whole new team dynamic to play around, with Fauna going on the Yan. 15 kills in first place. That was a huge game.
Yeah, and it worked out so well for them. I didn't realize Fauna had such a good Yawn, but he came, he showed up. Once the Chloe is banned, he shows, he can play other characters as well, not just that Chloe. And yeah, he came out swinging.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But, now that the Chloe is back, I would just assume that we're going back to the same old, especially because Yan is also banned, right? Even if Fauna wanted to play him again, that's not going to be coming through in game number 3. But let's take a look at what our lobby dynamic looks like. Sparkle Esports is still going to be playing Fauna. That, of course, does not change, and for good reason. Any substitutions coming through? I don't see any at the moment. Oh no, there's Taekyung. Look at that. Auto Arms is gonna substitute him back in. And there is no way we're seeing Priya Johan on the exact same team, right? Guys, right?
Priya Johan Marcus. So just gonna funnel this Marcus. It's not the worst because I feel like, it's pretty bad, but it's not like the worst because Priya has some damage. Johan has a tiny bit of damage too, but Yeah, looks like it will be Sad Hands just gonna swap to the Aya, and we will have a Marcus ban coming out once again. This time, no Chloe ban because Cinema is not gonna be on that Chloe this time, so it's just gonna be the Marcus ban this time around. Don't know if we have any other bans. We do have 2 Suas, we do have 2 Emmas, but yeah, no triple pick here. We do have Magnani coming back on that Bianca. We did see that Bianca pick from yesterday is gonna be on that tank-ish Bianca with that heal factor plus that Blade of Truth. So kind of interested to see, you know, how it does end up working out for them.
Yeah, by the way, you said no triple ban, but did you mention the Marcus already? There's 4.
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect. Yeah,
so Marcus is banned.
Yeah, technically he's not triple picked, right? He's quadruple picked. There's a bit of a distinction there. Yeah, the only ban coming through for the next game will be the Marcus. Again, same story pretty much, except for the Chloe ban coming through for game number 4. It's not anything that you and I should be surprised about, especially from what we've seen over the weekend. We know how impactful this character is going to be. Usually, when we start seeing characters in this number, right, a lot of characters starting to come through for the exact same guy. No matter how impactful there tends to be a limit. But all of our Marcuses have had some incredible performances throughout the course of the day today. So let's see how Game 3 goes, guys. Game 3 is locked and loaded. All of our players just looting around as usual. Nothing too big over there. Who is going to be able to take the driver's seat for game number 3? This is kind of that halfway point where teams have to start making sure they're at the safe levels of where their point totals are going to be. For teams like Tangled Obby that definitely struggled during game 2, this has to be your chance back into the series.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised with all the Marcus picks. Like, Marcus is just such a strong character on this patch, so, you know, able to do so much for the team. And yeah, like you said, I'm kind of curious to see, you know, if some of these teams if they are going to be able to, you know, find that answer. As wait a second, we do have looks like KCW is going to be playing the Laura.
Oh yeah, indeed. He's going to be opting to not go on to the EM for this time around, and I like this, right?
Well, Jan, it was banned, right?
Yes,
so that's why. Yes. Yeah. So Laura is an interesting pick. 'Cause I don't think I've seen him play the Laura. He has played, you know, the Nikki. We've seen the Nikki before. But I'm sure he's been practicing the Laura here. Looks like Team Tangled Lobby will be able to get an early game kill here. Oh, the Nadine just gonna jump straight into the hands of Sad Hands, but just gonna be able to blink on out of there, and it looks like they'll be okay.
Interesting. Alright. Well, for now, the members of Team Tangled Obby picks up a kill for themselves and manages to scurry away from anybody in Team Auto Arms. No additional kills being picked up in Cemetery from that team. But on the flip side, we did see, I think that was DHCNJ picking up a kill somewhere on the northern side of the map. We are good to go there too. One of our Marcuses taking an early fall, as this early game, much more quieter than their first 2 games, 100%. I would not even say maybe the first 2 games, but at least the second game as a whole.
Like
their vision checking.
Oh my god, very nicely played by Team Taeyang Cybers. Dina, in that corner, a lot of people don't know that spot where, you know, if you're able to hide in there and when a player walks up from the bottom side, you actually won't be able to see them, especially when you are going for that teleport. And Rosner didn't check that bush. Not disciplined enough in the early game because, you know, it is the early game. I don't really blame him for not checking bushes. He's just trying to get to that TP to get to his team. And unfortunately, he pays the price for that. So, nice pick from the Young Cybers. Going to be able to get one for themselves. As teams, it looks like they're just going to be a little split here. Going to be able to get, you know, as much farm as possible.
I think that's the first time in a long time that I've seen our teams actually taking advantage of the weather, because you can only pull something like that off in rainy weather, right? Since that bush right underneath the Hyperloop doesn't appear outside of this weather. So that's really good.
I feel like if that bush wasn't there, they all would have just sat in the spot where Dina was
and waited for the Hyperloop sound.
Yeah, waited for the Hyperloop, yeah.
That probably would have been...
It probably would have been the same, but you know, can't really say. Ooh, a great find from Seraphine. Gonna be able to get Revolu with that basket into the wall. And yeah, it looks like Magnani just completely split. They were split farming, and you know, that's the one downside to split farming is when you get caught like this, there's really not much you could do because you're gonna be playing that into that 2v3. So yeah, they will end up losing 2 members, and it will be Team Blanche going to be able to get 2 kills for themselves.
Death timers are quite long at this point already too. Level 9 and level 8 hit for both of the members on Tej and Cybers. But now we start coming on to the eve of day number 2. Players starting to get ready for these transitions, starting to get ready for these objectives. The sensor has been taken down, by the way, so that's a bit of an extended cooldown for I'm Johan. Liguri trying to buy a little bit of time for the rest of his team, but you can see the positioning of Team Sin waiting around a little bit. There's the Plague activated. It's still early on in the game. Taeyoung about to get taken down. He should be in execute range, just barely not, but it still results in a kill. I'm Johan in a whole heap of trouble though. He's got no ability. He's going to get taken down. We should see a team picking up that tree of life very, very soon. Tejan Cybers also losing out on Magnani. Same thing probably going to happen over onto Dina. He is not going to get away from an ERM and the counter Marcus, as running away from a Marcus as a Marcus yourself, definitely difficult.
Yeah, and looks like Tangle Dobby found another 2 kills for themselves. They're going to be able to get the tree as well, so it looks like they have a really nice start for this game here. Johan is just going to get the res, and Riori just going to let... Actually, it looks like they had full vision of that, so they let the Johan get the res off for that extra kill. Very, very smart play from Team Tangle Dobby as they do get another kill for themselves.
Indeed, and this time around they will secure the kill, right? Johan's gonna get fully taken down, extra kill for themselves, objective picked up inside of Cemetery on top of it. This is a really nice start from Team Tangle Dobby, and as I mentioned, this is the game that they definitely need to do well on. Game 2 was not their game at all, even while running the exact same composition. This time around they gotta make something happen, and for now, 4 kills is gonna be the start of it all.
Yeah, very nice start, and they got that Tree of Life. They have a lot of credits. I think they were able to rotate a lot of farms, so maybe they can get these early game 4-score buys. Gonna start to see, you know, these teams going to these kiosks, gonna get their buy-ins now because it is that time. Revolu gonna get a lot of damage onto Lee Dalin and almost actually kills the Dalin. Dalin down to 1 HP there. But yeah, not able to finish that off as Rolu will be on this death timer. Might be a little awkward for them now to maybe contest for one of these zones, but yeah, you will start to see these teams buy in. Look at the credits on the credit counts onto the teams on the bottom side there. You're going to be able to see almost every team has fully bought out. Only team that didn't buy out was Daeyoung Cybers, but that's kind of because Rolu kind of got picked off, so they're not able to get their early game buy-in. But this is kind of what you have to do, right? If you are playing in a lobby that's playing pretty high tempo, like in on the KR side. Gotta make sure you get these buy-ins. You gotta make sure you're not falling behind, because as soon as you start losing one fight, you're gonna start losing another fight, and then it's gonna spiral out of control. Bum gonna try using that Echoes of the Earth, or sorry, not Echoes of the Earth, but the ultimates. Not gonna be able to land on anyone. The Burger Flip only gonna land on Nina. Oh, and they're getting a lot of damage on Rosner.
Oh, nice.
But the Suwa, they almost were able to get that second down kill for that healing. It's going to be bomb coming in for the 1v2 here. There is the volley. The 4 bomb does end up connecting. They will be able to get that one down, as BNK Fearx, they do end up living for that battle zone, and it will be Team Sparkle Esports going to be able to secure 2 kills and 1 battle zone kill, so they will get that mithril as well.
Yep, we see Bubble trying their best, but it's not going to work. Battle zone goes into the hands of Team Sin once again. Johan did end up getting taken down, but that's alright. It's going to be a battle zone win for those guys. A mithril picked up, and there it is. The Tindalos Monarch picked up for Liguri. Really nice start for Team Sin. Once again, a very slow start, as they only have 1 field killed outside of the battle zone. This is pretty much the exact same pace that Team Sin has been taking. You can see their transitions actually really good already. I saw the camouflage armor online ready to go. 2 additional transitions into the hand of the Chloe. I think it was 3 or 4 onto the Kiara. They're already ramped up really, really quickly, considering only 1 kill on their hand. Wouldn't think they have a lot of credits, but absolutely they do.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get their buys as well, so yeah, these teams, they're all looking pretty good right now. Oh, Xenophine kind of caught out, so it looks like Team Auto Arms maybe that he had in the angle here.
Or is
there
it?
Is the, oh my god, doing so much damage onto Cinema. Is going to check down to 1 HP. Sadhan's going to look for an angle, but is going to get CC'd by Sebi here. Tried to jump on forward, but it looks like that definitely was not the play. Tried to look for Xenophine, but unfortunately wasn't able to find a great spell shield coming out from the Sewer to actually block that knockup. They're going to look for the Marcus. The White Lily is going to end up blocking a great Spring Trap coming out from there. Going to be able to find Sadhan's, as Sadhan's does end up going down. And yeah, Team Blanche finding another kill for themselves. This double bruiser with this Lenny is, showing up really, really strong. and showing up really nicely for Team Blanche.
If anything, I think it was slight reverse psychology, because I think the members of Team Auto Arms was also wondering, hey, wait, is he actually coming in? Because no one was investing their entire full focus over onto Xenophine, so pretty nicely done. It's also going to directly result in getting taken down, almost taking down Songharang in return too, but it's going to be a couple members of Team Auto Arms disjointed on their respawn towers at probably the worst time possible. We just went over to day 3, at least it was an 8-2 death, but on the north side, we might see more fights. Team Sin hanging around Team BNK FureX at the moment. For now, they do not want to take the fight. They're just going to completely back away from this one. Everybody on BNK FureX still looking for it. Are they going to turn on this? I don't think it's a good idea yet. Yeah, BNK FureX has a lot of sustain, a lot of isolated single targeting. I'm Johan has always gotten picked off up against Team BNK FureX, and you can see that they're a bit scared trying to take the fight.
Yeah, I think it's because Johan does have that Truce modifier in inventory, so they probably want to get that slammed before taking any team fights here. You want to make sure you don't want to lose any of your transitions. I think after they take the slam, or after they slam it, they probably would be down to take the fight. But right now, it looks like BNK FureX is gonna get some buy-ins maybe on Fire Station. Looks like they don't really want to call in because they do know there is a team who like this play. Gonna sit in the bush down here, as they do recognize there is another team that is in the area, so they're actually gonna not take the fight here. They're actually gonna send it on to Dina here. Dina, it might be a little caught. Does only have the battle suit, so I think the team of Daeyoung Cybers are probably not as strong. Dina gonna full send it, gonna get pushed back in. Revolo gonna do a lot of damage. Here comes the Aya damage. It's gonna be enough. Gonna jump on back, and ooh, EA does find an angle and will instantly kill Revolu down. But wait a second, Dina does end up trading EA back. But yeah, they're just gonna have to give up there, as there's nothing really more that Team Daeyoung Cybers can do without that Bianca ult.
Double frontline bruiser. If your main damage source gets taken out, yeah, you have to leave immediately. Otherwise, they're going to run you over. Especially when you're running something like a Bianca too, by the way. She is never going to be able to chunk through the health bars of Marcus in a reasonable amount of time. Ooh. Bear just barely getting out, but jumping on top of it. Team Sparkle Esports is on top of that one. White Lily was already taken by Xenophine. He's trying to do something, but the damage is insane. The crowd control is insane. The mobility is insane. Sparkle Esports pick up 2.
That is devastating for Team Blanche, because if you look at their credit counts, they're only going to be able to buy one back, and after the one buyback, they're not gonna have enough. They're gonna be about 120 credits short for the second one. So yeah, it looks like Xenophine is kind of stuck in a hard place here. Bomb is gonna look to send it on to Team DCNJ once again. Or sorry, Team Daeyoung Cybers once again. They're gonna get a lot of damage onto Bum, but Bum just eating all the auto attacks. Not gonna send it on in, but just not doing any damage. Not gonna be able to get EA even down to half HP, as EA does end up finding Magnani as well. Will end up taking him down, and will be Daeyoung Cybers gonna fall here.
There is just no damage coming out from this Aya. They do have the assault rifle transitions, but nothing being done. Dina's also going to get clapped by the bookmark. Down he goes.
I don't think they have enough items, because they did end up having to buy back. They were sitting on about 500 credits. If you saw on the side of Dina, they only had that battle suit, and Magnani only having that Dragon's Fury. So yeah, I think BNK FureX, they just pressed tab. They saw they were up maybe 5-6 items, and then they just decided, you know what, we'll just take our wallets, slap you across the face, and there's nothing you guys can really do about it.
Yeah, and it's really weird about that too, because when you have Bianca in your game, right, you want to either play around her or you want to use her as someone that kind of splits up a fight a bit. And it did. Reign of the Vampire Queen did. But you'd expect more to come out of it. There was nothing that came from the Reign of the Vampire Queen. It almost felt like they used it just because it existed in their kit, not to actually do anything with it. It's a really weird sentiment to have for Reign of the Vampire Queen, but that's exactly what ended up happening. Inside of the Gymnasium also is one of the best ways to use Reign of the Vampire Queen up against a composition like Team BNK FureX. None of the players that was tagged inside of the Reign of the Vampire Queen was able to get out of it, but it still didn't result in much. That's not what you want to see on that character. It really isn't.
Yeah, because the full send on Reign of the Vampire Queen did end up connecting onto the back line, but E8 just only taking 40% of the damage. Bianca is one of those characters where you need to get that snowball going. You need to get, those items so you could, start one-shotting the backliners and start one-shotting these priority targets. But when you don't have any items, and especially when, these other teams are, transitioning and getting these items above you, I think that's exactly what happened where Team BK Ferrex, they're just up maybe about 6-7 items, into the side of Team Taeyong Cybers. There's really not much, Bianca can really do in that scenario.
Absolutely. Here we go, though. Game 3, day number 4. You got a minute until Wickeline is going to spawn. We have 3 different spots where she can, and of course, she goes to the one spot that nobody is in. Fire Station is where that objective is going to spawn.
Oh my God,
Cenophy
look
getting
at the
chunked out
damage.
a lot. Riori is already sitting on full transitions at the moment.
Oh,
Sebi just getting
Sebi,
burned
no.
down. That's a really nice
God.
buffer with the smash to smithereens, but
wait.
now they're forced into the fight. Why is their health bar just
gonna look for
increasing?
an
But
angle?
Cenophy messes up a couple of hits. Pop goes the Weasel as the timer's just not going to work. Bear trying to get himself away as well. But look at the minimap. It is infested with players everywhere across the board, and Team Blanche is still found out. Bear should not have that much time. Sebi, I don't know where his timer's sitting on right now too. 23 seconds. It is just not looking good for Team Blanche. 9 seconds left now for Bear, and Glove is on the hunt.
Yeah, and Bear doesn't have any timer here, so he's gonna have to probably feed the kill over into Team Tangle Dobby. Riori just so accurate with these Molotov cocktail parties, and did the W's as well, the oil slicks, and just able to chunk and just deal so much poke damage, especially because they're already 5 items. They got that chaser online as well. The Spear Harvest just does so much damage, and just does so much for that Adriana. Ooh, I like this play from Team Sin. It will go over to the side of Team Sparkle Esports, and Sung Harong is actually going to try forcing them away. Did they get the blood? I think they did. So Team Sin, not too bad of a trade for them. They do get that blood. They will spend some timer, but this blood is going to provide so much for the side of Team Sin. I think that Red Shoes is probably going to come on line for the Kiara, so they are going to have a lot of skill amp, and when a Kiara has over probably 1,000 skill amp, those ultimates are going to hurt. They can just send the ultimate into a backline. It's going to do about maybe 800 true damage, and there's really not much these backliners can really do to kind of counter that, because the Johan will provide an extra about 50 flat amp, and when it gets multiplied with the level bonus and the percent amp, it's probably going to turn into about like 200 amp. So that Kiara is going to have probably over about like 1,100 amp.
Even more so than that too, I think Liguri has been so much more proactive in making sure that these plagues have been very effective in this series so far. So the healing cup being distributed to all 3 members at the same time, thanks to him constantly proccing that plague onto multiple targets at the same time, and them having a Johan, sustain-wise, Team Sin is going to be at an absolute advantage. And watch him. Here we go. The plague is activated, and I don't think that one is
wait,
it.
the plague is gone. So
it's
now
already over.
There's the
Faith and Wavering is back.
And the Soul Stealer coming out once again. We've been talking about the Soul Stealer throughout the whole series from yesterday in the qualifiers. Just such a great tactical skill to use, because if you are able to just use the Soul Stealer, or if you do have a Soul Stealer, you can always just use it to disengage, or you can use it to re-engage. And if a team has Soul Stealer, you can use it to respond to their Soul Stealer.
But for now, they're alive, right? Even if a lot of cooldowns were invested, they're still alive. I think Plague is back up. The Faith and Wavering is not. I do see swords flying up on the bottom side of our screen. Team Sparkle Esports as well as Team BNK Furex are looking for something. Bum misses everything with the Smash to Smithereens. He does have access over onto Song Harang, but he should be able to pick up the kill in just a second. Down goes the Celine, but look at the fight on the flip side. Rosner is still alive. Scarlet picks up the kill though, but how much cooldown does he have? Absolutely none. It'll be the Maleficent Helix to pick up the kill. Nicely done. Inside of school, the fight's going to continue, as it's going to be Team Sin turning it around up against Team Tangle Dobby. This time, they're the ones to pick up the kills. This time, the plague works, and this time, it has harvested the souls of the members of Team Tangle Dobby.
They weren't able to see the side of Team Tangle Dobby, but yeah, very nicely played from Team BNK Ferex. Bum finding that angle, he didn't hit the Smash and Smithereens because Sung Harang sidestepped it, but he was able to get onto the Celine, taking that isolated 1v1. Once the Celine is kind of out of the picture, the Suo and the ERM, kind of have free reign. They were able to win that 2v2. Rosner playing very nicely there, able to win, or able to stay, long enough to, trade a lot of damage and actually kill the Chloe. Was just enough for Bomb to, you know, kind of come around and clean up the last kill, which was Scarlet. So very, very nicely done for them. Sparkle Esports going down in 7th place, so they won't get any placement points for this game, but 7th field kill, so not too bad of a performance for them. But their lead will definitely be cut short here.
Indeed. By the way, nobody's sitting inside a pond at the moment. The only team even remotely considering that is DHCNJ, but I think they're looking for some kills. Still hanging around school. They do have full control over that area where the Hyperloop is, so if they think they're in any remote danger, if they just want to leave school, go for a safe temporary zone, they absolutely can. I love the positioning.
There's 5 temporary zones here. Or 5 teams in this temporary zone.
Yeah, it was 6.
Oh yeah, okay, it's 5 now because DHCNJ is gonna go take the pawn zone. So we got quite the final zones on our hand. We got a couple of rats. We do have Riori. You know, just chilling on the bus there. We have, it looks like, the side of Team Blanche. They're gonna sit on this White Lily. And Team Sin, they're gonna get some more items here. I think they are looking probably the strongest in the lobby, considering they do have, you know, that blood on that Kiara. They got full items on the Johan. They got full items on Chloe as well with the blood on the Chloe, because they did end up getting that. They did end up getting that Wick line, and they actually don't check there. Looks like it's coming inside of Team Auto Arms. They're just gonna get sent on by the side of Team BNK Fearx. Sad Hand's gonna be completely isolated. Does end up getting caught, but on the bottom side, do have Taeyong not gonna be able to, you know, get that 1v1 onto the Suwa, as BNK Fearx will pick up another 2 kills. Yeah, I think a lot of these teams are just a little too far behind. There's really not much they can do. Sin gonna walk up actually into being KFRX here. I think this is actually a really good idea, because if they are gonna be able to win this fight, you know, the rest of the teams is going to be rats. But the problem is if you are gonna be taking this, you are going to risk the placement of going down a lot earlier. And oh my god, it's the Chloe that just instantly kills EA by themselves. The Chloe just, I'm telling you, the Chloe does so much damage with the Johan. The Johan providing that elf dress and that, the elf dress and the healing factor, just providing an extra 40 AP is just way too strong. And the amount of sustain Johan has, and the amount of, even damage too, just getting that WQ is just way too much.
Yeah, now it's a feeding ground for Team Sin, as there's only 2 Marcuses left inside of the zone. They're going to be able to pick these kills up, no problem whatsoever. 2, 1, and a 0. Taken gets taken down. The last one left is Sebi. He secured himself the placement point, but in the end, it's Team Sin just running amok inside of the school temporary zone. The last judgment has been delivered onto Sebi, as down he goes. Team Sin on 9 kills for themselves, looking for 12 plus, I apologize. Whereas the HCNJ, they couldn't pick up a single thing inside of school. Now they're gonna have to try pushing in towards school.
HCNJ, look at their items. They have a lot of good items here. Ooh, I like this play. They're actually gonna walk up, maybe look for a vision play here. Ooh, this is really good. I think they might be able to find Liguri here.
They shouldn't be able to one-shot this though. Oh my god! No play, no play! No play's been activated. He's still alive. Play has now been activated. What the heck happened to KCW?
Goes back in, and KCW does end up falling. You're right. I think he just died to the Chloe. Why did they? I'm surprised they didn't use any ultimates there to lock down the Chloe before they used the totem. There was no there was no Dylinol or no double poly.
What just happened? Well, Team Sin, our new team on the block, is really starting to wreak havoc in the wildcards. They are going to take away game in number 3 with such a domineering performance. Liguri on the Kiara has been completely different than the performance that I saw him yesterday. He's actually getting some of the best plague effectiveness I have seen on the Kiara in a very, very long time. Almost makes me really sad that a lot of our EU viewers were here yesterday and not today. They're not able to see this right now.
Yeah, I think the combination with the Johan is just too strong. I think this Johan pick is kind of what's sealing the deal for this team comp. It's drowning out the team comp so nicely for them, because having that extra healing, having that faith unwavering, and just having that extra adaptive force for both the Chloe and the Kiara is just way too much for these teams to kind of handle. But yeah, I think they are just playing really, really well as well. They're able to find and able to follow up on these plagues, just sending it forward, dealing about 800 damage to a backliner. The Chloe just needs to do maybe 1 or 2 autos, or maybe send Nina to the back and drop a Q down, and maybe they should die. So yeah, very nicely played from Team Sin. And yeah, I kind of look back at the fight, and I think what happened was the Dalin's Tent ult a little too late, and then it got cancelled by the Faith Unwavering. So
That makes sense.
yeah, just not enough CC to lock down the Kiara, which I'm surprised because I feel like they should have had enough.
hmm I have a strange feeling that, remember how yesterday I was talking about, is this Kiara running tank, right? I think she's running at least one item that gives her some resemblance of HP. And
They were running. They usually run EOD shoes, but they swapped to
Yes.
the red shoes. So they actually have no tank items there. I don't think.
yeah, I'm so
I think
confused.
it was just. I think it was just the Johan healing with the Faith and Wavering, and then the heal. Actually, no, they're not on heal drone because they're on.
They're not, yeah. They're on
they're on Soul
Ironclad.
Stealer. No, they're on Soul Stealer.
Who, the Johan?
The Johan's
Oh,
on Soul
yes,
Stealer.
yes,
So,
yes,
so
yes.
they're not on heal win. Sorry, not heal
Ah,
drone.
there you
heal
go.
win.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's just the Faith and Wavering with the Johan Q heal, but the Johan Q heal is a lot. Like it is heals for maybe like 300 to 400, especially because the Johan has double heal power with the weapon and the Nightmare Nails, and you stack on top of it with the heal factor, so it's about like 60% extra healing.
Yep.
And then I think the Kiara might have procced Ironclad there.
Yeah.
Is my guess. Is the reason why she lived. Maybe she just used her rapier skill to make sure she didn't die.
It's a great time to
But
be
yeah.
alive as a Yoan player. The sun being introduced into the game, like maybe 3 to 4, maybe 5 patches ago. The additional healing power being tossed onto additional Arcana characters. It is insane, the amount of bonus healing that you're able to get on a Johan. A very niche stat that not a lot of us really think about for the most of the time, right? Because the items that have it are very limited. Most of the characters in the game really aren't even going to bother looking at those items either, but it really helps out Johan, and you definitely saw it happen here. And this will allow Team Sin to overtake that first place spot. Again, the newcomers on the block, overtaking some of the best teams in Korea. Sparkle Esports being knocked down the peg, down into second place with 44, Blanche in third place with 41. So they're still keeping up with Team Sin, but the fact that I'm saying keeping up with Team Sin in the first place is where it's really going wrong for a lot of our teams right now.
Yeah, and then BNK Ferrex rounding out our top 4 with 30 points, and Otto Arms 9 points behind with 21. So it's still anyone's game to make it in. But yeah, like I was saying, I think the reason why this comp is so strong now is because of the recent buffs to the supports. They did end up reverting a lot of the changes that they did in the end season of season 4. So in season 5, I think 4 obviously phase 3. So about like 2 patches ago, they basically just gave a buff to healing factor. They reverted the elf dress change and elf dress nerf. So elf dress is really good now. So supports are actually in a pretty comfortable state. And Johan was one of those supports that didn't really get changed at all. So he is in a really, really good spot, and it's kind of showing. Especially with this Kiara and this Chloe just able to utilize Johan's kid so well.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, right? How during the big support purge that happened at the beginning of season 5, Johan was, strangely enough, one of the only supports that really was able to dodge out on that, because he wasn't played significantly towards the end of that season 4 season finals. It was all Lenny's, all Charlotte's, plus 2 DPS dealers, plus a bruiser, whatever you want to say. No one played the Johan. All culminates to this. I still don't really think that Johan needs to be nerfed by any means. I think he's still pretty good, but not to the level of, oh, we need to kill this character. I just think Team Sin is using that Johan to its utmost capabilities, especially with Kiara, who is sitting up in the front line that much, right? You don't usually anticipate Kiara's nowadays running Ironclad, but it's helping the Johan have so much more effectiveness because the damage reduction, that's more effective HP, my friend.
Yeah, I think the Ironclad, I think it's pretty standard for Kiara. I'm actually not too sure what Kiaras have been running these days, but Ironclad does make sense because Amp Drone?
I think they're still running Amp Drone for the most part. Some of them are also running Ghostfire just so they can get the damage out.
For the ultimate, I think it should be Ironclad or at least because it makes sense because of the engage. They just
okay. Let's be real first. Who's playing Kiara nowadays?
Okay, that is a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah, this is why this kind of composition is all the more surprising for you and I, because it's very, 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 very unorthodox. At least for Sparkle
Yeah.
Esports, a lot of people play Emma and Celine. The Chloe, on the other hand, is a little bit interesting, right? Because it's genuinely Fauna's character pick. But now he's going back over onto the Yana. We're seeing a re-debut of that one. Round 2.
Fauna back on the Yan. Looks like I'm surprised he's back on the Yan because Chloe is still on the table, but looks like Yan did end up working out for them really nicely in game 2. So we'll just swap to that to get the Yan banned again. But I'm gonna swap on over to it as well. And we will have the same 2 bans coming out for game 4 like we had in game number 2. Both the Mai and the Yan will be off the table for going into game number 5.
I can't wait to see. There's like just looking on the overall Korean ladder and seeing maybe 10% on Yan after this game for Fauna's overall character picks in Season 5. He's really liking this character pick, and you know what? It's for good reason. I think the range that he was able to play just fits so well in line. Again, you know, I know you disputed it earlier, and I do agree. It's definitely a lot more all-in comparison to the Chloe, but the dynamics of the team itself, where you're just able to combo each other off with the crowd control.
It's still basically the same type of play that they do, where they are playing off the knockup or the double poly, but the Yan is able to provide a lot more, I would say, burst damage, and let's have a lot more CC throughout a fight, right? I think that's the one big thing is Chloe just has that one knockup throughout a fight, and then she's just full damage. But Yan has the knockup. He's able to knock up again. He's able to knock up again, and he's able to use that roundhouse kick to knock people into the wall. He's able to utilize the Tetragon as well with the roundhouse kick. So Yan just provides so much to the table, and it's no surprise for me to see a high level player have Yan as their pocket pick, because if you can't master this character, he is such a menace. He does so much for his team.
Yeah, and I think Yan is one of those characters that pretty much encompasses every single skill most of these high-level players are going to have anyways, because if you're playing Yan, guys, for those of you guys who
really
haven't, yes, he's really hard, but at the same time, you cannot play locked camera on this guy.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to miss everything. You have to play unlocked cam, so camera control in and of itself is a huge skill that you need to have locked down if you want to play, even remotely attempt playing this character. And, you would expect Fauna to be that type of player. More picks coming through as... Oh, Glove actually still stays alive. Rosner is going to head pop. No, he's going to get taken
Bum as well here. Don't think Bum will be able to get away. He's going to sidestep some of the damage, but yeah, Rory, great tracking there. Rosner going to jump back in. Maybe going to be able to kill the Nadine. The Don Quixote is actually going to connect on Riori. Anna is actually going to connect on Nadine, and Nadine is actually gonna be the one who falls here. And Rosner, great awareness, able to hit these Don Quixotes, and able to punish the Nadine for walking up there. And yeah, they will be able to pick up actually 2 kills. A great turn there from Rosner, as he does end up finding that angle there, and they will be Tangle Dobby will end up losing 2 members, and they're gonna get sent a little far behind here. Kiara gonna come in 1v3, I think they're probably looking to maybe make some food off the campfire, but it does end up getting picked as well from BNK Fearx. So BNK Fearx, 4 kills already. Day 1, they have to be feeling good about that.
Yeah, I will say, I think a lot of our friends on the Korean side are happy that a knockup doesn't count as debuffs, because remember how they cascaded the debuffs starting from Season 5 or something like that? If they did stack on each other, I don't think some of these people would ever be landing down onto the ground before they're dead, from what we were seeing so far. BNK Fearx just layering those crowd controls so well. Same thing again for Tangle Dobby, though. They're having to deal with Team BNK Fearx. The Tomahawk Roundhouse was a little bit finicky, if I'm going to be honest with you, but what?
Back in. Yeah, and that is a big misplay. Tried to look for an angle, I think, as... wait a second.
Yeah, E8 doesn't even die. He's got shields from the ERM.
Wait a second. Is Tangle Dobby going to die here?
Oh, no.
And he comes back up in 5 seconds, and I think Glove is dead. And yeah, that is going... Tangle Dobby going out in 8th place at night 1. Death from Tangle Dobby. That is not what you want to see. But once again, I think that Nadine, they're just misplaying throughout these team fights. They're just getting caught. They're looking for these aggressive plays, which is really not working out for them. So Kind of curious to see, you know, what Tinkerbell decides to do going into game number 5 here. If they will end up maybe swapping him out, because right now it's not working.
Sardabi definitely was tunnel visioning on E8 there, right? Because E8 got taken pretty low after the bout with the Shukai. So he tried using the monkey wire in to try killing the cat. But what's the plan after that? You're still gonna die anyways. The combo is there. Oh my god, but the counter initiation is there. And now Songharan gets caught out by a Yan. This is the worst place to be. Oh my god! The Tomahawk roundhouse and Sparkle Esports is wiped. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful combination coming through. Taekyung once again. This guy sets up so much. Why are you playing Marcus, man? Just play the Yan. He's so good.
You have to wonder, you know, like how come they weren't playing this team comp, you know, from the very beginning.
Yep.
Taehyung's Yan is just such a menace. I know Marcus is really strong right now, but Taehyung's Yan is just such a treat to watch. He's just so good at this Yan character.
Oh my god.
So much. Another great roundhouse kick into the wall.
Another one.
Able to lock up Seraphine here. Will they be able to catch the Priya here? The Priya is going to be able to get the root, but I think Sad Hands will be able to clean this one up. Just one more auto attack, and there it is. Sad Hands going to be able to get that kill. And Auto Arm sitting on 7 field kills already. They're looking in a pretty comfortable spot here. Here comes the fight between Sin and Team BNK Fearx. Sin is going to lose both the Johan and the Kiara. I think Johan got caught a lot earlier, and we might actually have another maybe wipe here.
Mangyun's here too.
Young Cybers, and yeah.
Oh no!
Going down as well, and we have 3 deaths already. It's only day 2.
Oh my god, and our top 2 teams, by the way, they're both down. Not Tangle Dobby, sorry, Sin and Sparkle Esports, our first and second place teams, they're both dead. The scores are gonna compact so much after game number 4, and now we're in a reset stage, Super. This is gonna be the weirdest game 5.
The doors and the floodgates are open for any of these teams to make it in, because yeah, as long as these teams if they are able to get some kills here, if they are able to get, you know, a lot of points this game, they could definitely cut a lot of the point lead that the top 2 teams had over them. Yeah, it's really surprising, you know. I don't think we've ever seen 3 wipes this early, you know, in a Korean ERM. So, here comes the taunts from the Mai, but the Mai is a little too far forward there, so there's no real follow-up from the side of Team DHC and J. They're not able to really do anything. There is a lot of damage coming out from Bebo though, from the Dina, but yeah, looks like this side of Team the Young Cyber is just gonna back away. And also, I didn't even realize, but we do have a Eva pick. Eva, you know, a character we haven't really seen in a while after the Heart change, because, you know, Eva was the only character that we kind of saw paired with Heart with that Peacemaker and the laser combo, able to do so much damage. But, you know, it being off the table now. Is this a 2-man battle zone between a Mai and IRM?
Yo, how bad is Dylan that DHC and J? Why is Pixu on Mai?
Yeah.
Hello?
What is this? Besu, he's just gonna explode here because, I mean, there's really not much he could do. He's a Mai in a battle zone. He's gonna walk up to the IRM here, and he's just gonna explode. So,
funny enough, I actually think he could have at least stayed alive against the 8.
I guess this is what happens when there's only 5 teams left. Is teams will end up greening these battle zones, and they'll end up sending 1 player in, because why not?
Yeah, I still think you should go for the drone though, right? Because as long as he was able to do that, well, it is what it is. Sebi gonna get taken down. Taekyung once again just setting up wonderfully for his team. Not even a time to spare for that parry. Well done over on Team Auto Arms. 8 kills for this team. They're starting to definitely ramp up, and for good timing too. Again, this is the game that I think a lot of these teams are gonna look for these points. They have to.
I actually really like this from BNK Fearx. They know that there's only 5 teams left, and the map is gonna be so opened up. So they're just completely split farming. They're getting as many credits. They're trying to, you know, snowball this game and get as strong as possible, because it's basically free, right? The map is so wide, the map is so open.
Look at the value.
And yeah, look at how much credits they're getting. Look at all the farm they're getting. They're able to get so many mutant packs. You see Bomb already level 15, almost 2 levels above, you know, a lot of these other... a lot of people do underestimate, you know, how much a level advantage does end up giving you over the enemy teams, but it is a lot of stats. It's about like 4 defense. You get obviously a lot more amp with that. Okay. bit off more than he could chew. Tried or thought the Adina was, solo able to find a pick, but is gonna fall. But yeah, like I was talking about, level advantage does end up mattering like a lot because the base stats you do end up getting. Looks like Cinema maybe gonna find an angle.
Young
5
seconds.
Get taunted back in here. Looks like the teams are just gonna disengage. If Blaz doesn't end up proccing here, Saturn's gonna use his pistol skill to get away with that movement speed, and it looks like they're just gonna walk back up for this Tree of Life.
Yeah, don't need to risk anything right now, right? The map is so open that you have so much time in the world to find transitions. You don't need to go for that meteorite and risk your life for it at all, especially when you can pick up a Tree of Life right next to you instead, completely for free. Nice decision coming from a lot of our teams across the board. They're really utilizing the map as much as possible. BNK FureX now that it is day 3 are going to group back up. Good idea, good idea. Archery range can get farmed up a bit here too.
Now, you definitely don't want to get picked off when it's day 3, but them splitting off in day 2 I think was a really, really good play by them because we're able to get a lot of mastery and a lot of levels, and it looks like they are going to start splitting up again, but that's only because they do have a lot of vision and they know where teams sort of are because of the swap. You can look at your mini map when the game when the day does end up swapping, so you can kind of see where transitions are being taken, so you kind of have a gauge of where teams are on the mini map. That's something to kind of keep in mind of when you are playing, especially in the competitive scene and at a higher level. You definitely need to just be aware of the mini map, and you kind of have to check every so often once these objectives come down.
Yeah, I will say this just as a little bit of a number crunch. I saw Rosner picking up a 4-score earlier in night number 2. First of all, that's really fast paced for a 4-score, right? They've been calling items, they've been looking for split farm, and on top of it, even despite a 4-score call in night 2, they're pretty close to be able to call a blood sample by night 3. That's how fast paced that team is right now. BNK FureX is just so good at using the map overall. But for right now, Team Auto Arms as well as DHC&J looking for a bit of aggression. What the heck was that sound?
Already cut down to half HP here. Gets a nice taunt onto KCW, but no follow-up. Taeyong gonna look for an angle back in, but he is just going to burst it down. Zathans does find an angle on the back line here.
Oh my god.
Zathans does also get a nice angle and blinks on forward, and oh my god, Zathans just playing so nicely there. Great taunt from Cinema and a great follow-up from the team, and another team is down already in day 3, so we only have 4 teams left. Going into night number 3 here, Omega is going to be on the side of Cemetery, going over to the hands of Team K, BNK FureX. Blanche is in the area. They're just going to grab that box in Chapel there, so they're not going to be able to contest here. As a 4-score and a drink RNG will go over to the side of BNK FureX, so they're going to be sitting in a really nice spot. And look at the credit counts on BNK FureX. They're going to be able to get their buys as well.
Oh, yeah. Chaser should be online very soon for E8. I'm pretty sure Peacebringer could also be a possibility for Rosner. Yep, he's been building that quite often nowadays. Or if he's on the bat, Rod of Hearts, right? He's also been looking for that angle quite often. Although I have seen him prioritize the red shoes and the prominence a lot more. Those are a set of transitions that I see a lot more often on Rosner, and I can't tell if those are coming from boxes.
It's usually on the bat. If you're on Hammer, I think you do just run the
Peacebringer.
Hermes. But if you do get, an extra blood, then you can go with the red shoes. Or if you haven't, swapped off the EOD, then you do go into red shoes just because, EOD is that last item that you do end up building. But yeah, BNK FureX, they do have enough further buys now, so we're going to probably see them slowly make their way over to a kiosk. I do think the Peacemaker will come up. I think we did see an Necronomicon for the side of DHC and J or Dayoung Cybers. I don't know if they're going to be able to use that because I think the EVA already had the Dragon Scale, but maybe they just put on over the Dragon Scale, and there is the Blood Call-in. And yeah, we saw the Hermes Slam already with the 4-score from Omega, so there will be that Peacebringer gonna come out for that Suwa.
Oh, DHC and not DHC and J. BNK FureX is so absurdly strong right now. I can't wait for a fight between Auto Arms as well as BNK FureX Cinema. Barely being able to run away from Magnani. Yeah, they are split, but they're all inside of alley.
Yeah,
this could be
look for a turn here. Oh, there's the vision plant. Gonna be able to spot all the members on Team Auto Arms, as I think the item difference between Auto Arms and Dating Cybers. Definitely go over to the side of Team Auto Arms here. Revolu does have that tree weapon, which is really, really powerful, but not sitting on that completed radar just yet. So yeah, look at Sadhan. Sadhan is on the AO die, got that radar as well. But there are 2 transitions just sitting in pawn, so it looks like they're gonna make their way on down there, as there's only 4 teams left. So the map is really, really wide open for any of these teams to sort of navigate. Wick line will either be cemetery or school, or sorry, fire station or school. Looks like it will be in school, so I think these teams are going to try to make their way over there, because definitely want to try contesting for Wick when there's such a low amount of teams left in the lobby.
Yeah, it's such a slow game. We talked about how a lot of these teams are looking for points. Blanche is sitting on 0 kills right now in this game. That's simply due to the fact that a lot of the fights that we've seen so far in this game has been decisive. A team falls down for almost every single fight that we've seen so far in game number 4. That means overall, in comparison to before, the overall number of points that are readily available in the game is just not that much. It's problematic for a team like Blanche that are really looking for points at the moment.
That is true, right? So when these teams do get wiped early, and you didn't really get any early game kills, there's really not much points to go around. So the only real points they have kind of going for them is winning the game. You win that game, you get that extra 8, but yeah, you're not going to have many field kills, many kills to go around here. We do have another team in the area here. I'm surprised, or I would be curious to see if Blanche does end up starting. It looks like they will be. Revolu going to get instantly engaged on, chunked down to 1 HP. I think Team Blanche does end up recognizing, all teams recognize that there is a third party happening. Great disengage coming out from Team Blanche. Revolu still on 1 HP. Will they be able to find it? Oh, it looks like Taeyong was able to find an angle onto Sebi, and Sebi will be the one to actually fall here, as Team Auto Arms is going to reap all the rewards. Going to be able to get that nice third party. Going to be able to get one on Blanche and claim that wick line for themselves, as Team Blanche will have to force the res here.
Hidden Cybers catching themselves a little bit of a break too, as Blanche is a little bit preoccupied trying to get the res back onto Sebi. He's still going to have to loop around, as alley is going to be the only safe spot he can go over to. Everybody on the side of Team Blanche looking to get the hyperloop in towards Pawn, because they know school is a completely overflooded zone. Auto Arms with the blood sample.
I'm surprised they didn't go for the upper mask for Taeyong, because Taeyong is just sitting on that that's Sultan's, right? Or is it Sultan's? Imperial Burgonet, and they're sitting on the Imperial Burgonet there. So I'm surprised they didn't transition into that blood, but I think they just want the extra damage for that Razi, because the Razi was sitting on the tree weapon, and the tree weapon isn't that great and that much damage for that Razi. But having the blood weapon, having the high new, giving an extra cooldown for that Razi is probably a bigger upgrade in the long scheme of things. But oh yeah, it just looks like they just called another BF that's probably gonna run that upper mask over there.
Right, or it could even be the blood crown if you wanted to go for it. What are you gonna go for?
I think he needs CDR, right? He needs that CDR
I think so
for
too, yeah. Crimson Tonfa could really be an option if he's okay with sticking on Imperial Burgonet, but I haven't seen him build anything with it, so.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of curious to see what they build here.
Oh yeah, see, it is the Crimson Tonfa, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so they're actually not going to be building that upper mask, which I'm a little surprised about, because I feel like upper mask is actually a pretty big upgrade too, but maybe it's just not.
It does open up some transitions for your helmet though, because I think Crimson Tonfa does have CDR built into it.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, I guess because they had the media. Oh wait, they're gonna go into a Cyber Stalker. Okay.
Holy crap!
I'm a little surprised they didn't go just straight into the upper mask. Plus, maybe they could have bought like a drink or something, or they could have just slammed some drinks there. But
I'm all for it. That sounds like a fun build.
Here comes the engage coming out from Bear. Will they be able to get anything? The Soul Stealer is procced on the side of Team Young Cybers. Revel getting a lot of damage. Actually, the Alert is end up being forced out on the side of Team Blanche here. Dina trying to use her laser, but they have no vision. They can't really see anything in this bush here, as looks like a disengage is going to be called. Team Young Cybers, I haven't really seen much of them this game, but they're looking pretty strong as well. The Evo sitting on the 2 blood. Wait. Okay, Team Blanche just gonna jump over the wall here. I think BK is gonna flick, and they find the perfect angle bomb. So clean on that Yan, just gonna be able to get that perfect engage and a double roundhouse to the wall. and that's going to seal the deal for Team Blanche here. I don't think there's really much they can do. It's going to be a clean 3-0 from BNK Furex.
Read him like a book. Wonderful plays from BNK Furex. Finds out about the third party, immediately acts upon it. This is a pro team, ladies and gentlemen. They're playing Eternal Return textbook by textbook, but they're looking stylish on top of it. Wonderfully done by BNK Furex. Level 2 on the Soul Stealer 2. They're keeping up on every single transition, every single tactical skill there is in the book. Might not be sitting on too many blood transitions like the team of Auto Arms, but they got all the utility in the world. They're keeping track of the map. They have the macro play. Oh, it didn't check. There it is. Here we go. There's the Quake in 2. Oh my god! It's not even close.
Great pole vault from Sad Hands to dodge out on that blank cartridge, and wow, very, very well played from Team Auto Arms. That Eva Q did not hit, I don't think, any of them, so it was a fake vision check. They didn't drop the Eva W in there, and yeah, they immediately paid a price for that, as you know, they do end up getting caught. The Eva getting taunted. Great follow up from Taeyong, able to get that knock up, and will seal the deal. So Auto Arms and BNK Furex, 14 and 12 field kills apiece. They are running over the lobbies. They say they want a spot in the finals. We are not letting up the gas here.
Yeah, I wanted to see it. Remember earlier I said Auto Arms and BNK Furex. I want to see the fight between these two. It feels like I am going to get my wish. It is going to be a massive, massive fight. So many different factors as to how this could go. We got double Yans, both. We got, what is that, Bum and Taeyong, both of our real star-studded players when it comes to this Yan character, has been setting up so much over the course of the series and the season as a whole. Every single time they bring out the Yan, you can expect to see something good. We got Sadhand, of course, on the Rozzy. We have to see if BNK Furex can lock down that Rozzy. It's going to be the biggest thorn on their side, because Taeyong alone isn't going to be able to rip through the health bars of BNK Furex, right? It's going to be Sadhand, but there's so many other things.
Yeah, Taeyong does have a lot of damage though. They do have the Cyber Stalker with that blood weapon, so they will be able to get a lot of damage off. They're able to get, you know, on any angle onto any of these characters. I think it's just gonna come down to, you know, if Rosner can get a really good spell shield, maybe block a lot of the CC coming out from the side of Team Auto Arms, and if they can find Sad Hands, because Sad Hands will be able to rip this team to shreds if he does end up getting some free autos here. But yeah, looks like the zone control will go over to the side of Team Auto Arms here. Cinema gonna look for a send, just gonna zone both of them out. Gonna eat a bookmark there. Gonna get chunked down a little bit. Sadhand's gonna clear out a lot of vision on the side of T-Rex. Gonna use that tornado to jump on over the wall here. Visions, recon drones are coming down. This is gonna be a little tense fight.
Oh my god!
Is gonna send out the Taeyong. Taeyong gonna get pulled out by the exclusive, and it looks like they're gonna re-engage here. Sadhand's getting a lot of free damage on the gate. They will be able to kill it. It looks like Sadhands is gonna jump on around, but Bomb finds the angle, gonna be able to get knock up onto Sadhands. Sadhands trying to get some damage, trying to maybe finish the Suwa, and it looks like we will have a fight reset here as Taeyong is gonna explode their body. They're gonna be able to finish E8 here. Sadhands gonna be on 50% HP, so it will be come down to a 2v2. So it will come down to just Bum and Rosner. Will they be able to maybe get an angle onto the Rozzy? Because that's really all they need to do. Once it's just come down to the mod, it's just not going to be enough damage from the sides of the Auto Arms. And I like how Sadhan is playing. He's playing very disciplined. He knows he can't go in yet when, you know, these characters have so much engage potential here. Bum sitting on the 5 stacks is going to prep the Q here.
Oh, there's a blink!
Great reaction from Sadhan's. Going to be able to jump all the way and dodging out on the Don Quixote as well. Here comes Oh my god, Sadhan's playing out of his mind, just able to recognize and so patient. So patient with this guy. He just knows. He just knows the effective range on these characters and just playing slightly out of it. Bum trying to look for an angle, but just, you know, finding nothing.
I was gonna say, when was the blink timing for Bum? Is it coming up anytime soon? Sadhand was looking for the worst case scenario. If it's a blink level 2, then he knows the timing of it. If it's a blink level 1, well, he's still aiming for something. Let me play safe. Was completely out of the range, even with the blink in bob and weave, leaping knee. Oh my god, dude. How is this guy this young? I do not understand. Sadhand,
like,
my god.
He's just playing out of his mind. He is so patient, and it's just such a masterclass to watch, you know, the Rozzy coming out from Sad Hands, right? To just playing out of the effective range of the Yon, just waiting for them to pull the trigger first, and that's exactly what happened. I think BNK Fearx did get a little too impatient. I feel like maybe they could have just waited for a better angle. Maybe just could have held the zone for a little longer. But Bum decided maybe he had an angle in, tried to use that blink E engage, but Sad Hands able to react perfectly, just able to W backwards and instantly punish. Rosner trying to look for an angle as well, but you're not gonna hit that Don Quixote on a person like Sad Hands.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You do have to say, though, you can feel the dread coming as soon as Bum misses his combo onto Sad Hands, right? Everyone in that lobby that was left alive knew what the plan was. Everybody knew exactly what would happen the moment one person either made a mistake or one person made it go through. That star player was supposed to be Bum, but he missed his combo. Well done to Sad Hand from dodging it out.
I wouldn't even say he missed it. I would say like Sad Hands. I mean, I guess he did miss it, but Sad Hands just great reaction from him to.
I think if Bum used Blink behind the van, he actually had it because he got a hit onto something and he used his bob and weave to reset the cooldown, and then he walked into vision of I think that was Kyungkwae, and then he blinked in. It was a little premeditated. And I'm gonna nick him down on that one because in a situation like that, you have to, everyone knows exactly what you're aiming for. If you show any intention of what you're doing, it's over. That's it. And he showed himself to the Mai. They had information of him.
He did just slowly walk up and just Sad Hands. As long as he's playing out of that range, I think he played the range perfectly. But look at the points. Before I continue, look at the points. It is so close. 49, 49, 46, 45, and 44. The bottom three teams, unfortunately, they are 21 points behind. I don't think, they really have much left in the tank here. There is still 2 games coming up, after the break. So if they do have maybe 2 pop-off games, there is a chance that the Young Cybers or the HCJ can probably get in. But they need to win the next 2 games. They need to lock in. But so far throughout the series, it hasn't really been really looking too good for the bottom 3 teams. But really, it's anyone's game, I think, in the top 5.
Yes, 100%. What a series we have on our hands now, Super. Up until games 1 through 3, we know to a certain degree that a couple of the teams in the lobby absolutely were going to move on into the finals. But game 4 comes around, shuts that down. With both Team Sin and Sparkle Esports falling down early into game number 4, the floodgates have opened exactly as you said during the game itself. We have ourselves a series on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. But that was game number 4, and you know what that means. Every even number game, we are going to go on to a break. So grab yourself a snack, go grab some more water. It's going to be the last one of the day, and go take a stretch. We'll see you guys back here for games 5 and 6 to end off the wildcards of phase number 3.
Take care.
생존자가 사망했습니다.
숨바꼭질 시작이구나. 숨었지? 시작한다. 원래 술래는 아주 빠르고 영리한 거야. 자, 잘게 찢어줄게. 놀래키는 일에는 자신 있어. 찾았다. 놀랐지? 이거 첫 번째로 당첨이야. 아하, 너네 거기 있었구나. 좀 많이 아플지도 몰라. 도망가면 안 돼. 끊고 죽여버릴지도 몰라. 지져볼까? 좀 더 해치울 수 있다니까. 아직 멀었어. 사람들에게 행복을 선물하고 싶어. 태어나서 연애해본 적 없으면 마법사가 된다고 하잖아. 마술사는 될 수 있더라고. 마술사 등장! 새 무대를 준비해볼까? 지금 필요한 건 웃음과 마술이야. 동정과 카드, 어느 쪽이 좋아? 비비디 바비디 부! 말하는 대로 이루어져라! 나에게 필요한 건 실력보다 미소. 어우, 좀 이쁘라니까. 표정이 왜 그래? 여기야! 우리 비둘기가 자기가 당신보다 머리 좋을 것 같대. 어떤 카드가 좋아? 널 위해 준비했어. 토끼와 함께. 우리 비둘기가 살려달래. 폭력 반대. 웃어줘.
대부분의 문제는 폭발로 해결돼. 예술은 폭발이야. 터뜨릴 준비는 끝났어.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Eternal Return Masters Season 5 Phase 3 Wildcards. Hope your 3-minute break was a beautiful one. We are just coming out of Games 3 and 4, which was quite absolutely amazing. Game 4 just now was a spectacular game and a half for us to watch, but now we are at the end game of the Wildcards. Games 5 and 6, the final 2 games to determine the 4 teams that will be moving on into the finals tomorrow, and the 4 teams that will be eliminated after today. And I'm looking at the scoreboard after Game 4. It is close, my friends. It is close.
It is, yeah, it is really, really close. We got, I think, 5 teams that are only about maybe 3 points away from each other, right? It was like up to 48 down to 45 or something along those lines. But it's really anyone's game, I think, in the top 5. And yeah, unfortunately, on the bottom side, the bottom 3 teams, they haven't really had a strong showing here. But if you do have a really good game number 4, 5, and 6, they probably have to win 2 games in a row. They can definitely make it out as well.
Absolutely. I don't even think they have to win it, right? Because remember, after all, in game number 1, Team Blanche was able to get some really nice amount of points just from the amount of kills that they had. That's still a possibility for some of these teams, but for Tejon Cybers, DHCNJ, and Tingle Dobby, it's looking like a tough road ahead. As you said, 20 points for those guys, and below, they have to go up against some of these teams that are sitting in the mid to high 40s right now. There is a large point gap, so Game 5 is going to be, I would have to assume, the last chance that they're trying to get into the top 4. I don't know if they're going to be able to make up the amount of points if they don't get that after this game, because then we have to start talking about the mandatory minimum, and that is really bad when you're 20 points away.
Yeah, 20 point gap with only 2 games left is going to be really hard to make up. But with that, Shuvi, I think we're just going to jump straight into game number 5 here. We do have Mai and Dion off the table, so Taeyang will have to go back over to that Marcus, and I think we will have that Marcus ban rotating back around. Will we have another ban coming out, though? I don't think so. Bum is also just going to go over to that Marcus as well. And yeah, I think it's just gonna be that Marcus this time around.
Phoenix Park is subbing in for Tangled Obby. They're going to completely flip around their ideas of how they want to win this composition. So, we will have ourselves our first player substitution coming in, and he will be picking up the Nadine.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be the same team comp, but I think they're just subbing in a new player for that Nadine. I think it's probably a good play because I don't think
Sardabi has been...
Sardabi was been playing too well in this series so far, because I think he's been the one, kind of getting caught, which is kind of, sad to see, because yesterday he had such a great showing. I don't know if you guys saw, the team fight they had in Terramira Sejong when they were playing that, I think that Kiara team comp. I think it was Denana on that Kiara, but he just played that fight to a T. He played it so perfectly, and I think just for today, he's just maybe not feeling it. Maybe the nerves kind of got to him, because it is kind of the last chance for these teams to make it to the finals. And yeah, we will have Phoenix Park going to be subbing in for him.
Exactly. Match number 400, though. We've made another milestone for the match number in Eternal Return Masters. If you guys saw that right before the graphic itself disappeared. Happy 100 for all of you guys in the chat. If you guys were here with us the entire time ever since they started tracking that number, well, absolutely cool. Because I definitely have been here the whole 400 games. Somebody help me.
I'm guessing it was reset for like the original start of the.
I would have to assume so, and I don't know if they even count the qualifier games. I think it might just be the broadcasted ones, but I'm not entirely
the broadcasted. Sure. So 400 games. Wow,
that's a lot.
That is a lot of games.
I don't even know when they started tracking it, if I'm going to be honest with you. It could be before the official release. It could be after the official release. Either way, 400. That is a lot of games casted.
Yeah, I would guess it's after, because it would be like... Oh, actually, it would be like... 40 games each season? No, wait, no. Wait. I think I'm doing the math wrong.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. Let's see. We got 8 plus
maybe 100 games each season. Is it even 100 games each season?
Yeah, because you got about 4. If you want to count the LCQ plus the finals as like another phase, then another 100 games per season. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, looks like we do have 2 early picks coming out. One from the side of Auto Arms and one from the side of BNK Fearx. On the other side, though, DHCNJ also gets another one. But wait a second, Dasu is losing to the Lenny down here in the 1v1.
Oh, he's got it.
Comes out, and yeah, he'll be able to finish that up. Dasu also not full build yet, is only on that bandage and the green shoes. Great sidestep coming out from Dasu. Is Sebi gonna be able to catch? Is he out though? I think he is because of the speed gates, but I think if the speed gate wasn't there, because he's only on that green shoes, maybe he wouldn't have had that enough movement speed to get away. But it looks like Auto Arm is going to be able to find another kill, going to kill E8 and going to be able to kill KCW, so able to get that third party and reap all the rewards. The other side though, Senafine is going to run away here, actually going to maybe send it back in. Revolu is in the fray now, so they do have that ADC backliner to maybe shred these 2 bruisers down, as Bear will end up respawning back in Beach there, so maybe they could recoup and retake that team fight.
You can see the desperation coming through from the members of Tejan Cybers, though. They really did not have to force the fight inside Forest like that, but they are looking for kills. They desperately need it. KCW on the other end, he's going to get taken down unless the healing... Okay, I was going to say that Vampiric Bloodline healing is good, but not enough to withstand the burst coming through from E8. He'll get taken down, whereas Dina...
It wouldn't just be the Vampiric Bloodline. I think he did end up hitting the calling card. I think a lot of people forgot the calling card does actually heal now.
Yes.
So yeah, it wasn't enough though, obviously, but it was kind of close. Maybe if he got a couple more autos attacks off, would have been able to get it. But yeah, Dina completely isolated, doesn't end up getting caught. On the other side as well, Johan getting caught from Sin, and Rosner getting caught as well. So a lot of picks going around. I think. Oh my God, another one. Looks like Bomb is here to answer the Chloe from Sin, and they will go down as well. So a lot of early game fighting, a lot of early game kills for these games.
Yeah, by the way, I think I'm Johan got taken down in that exact spot a game or 2 ago. I'm getting a sense of deja vu for him falling down over there by that exact team. But here we go. Tejan Cybers looking for a bot. This is a combo we saw yesterday. The Reign of the Vampire Queen from the Smash Smithereens. They're trying to get the damage secured down, but Senafine with access to the backline. Dina's isolated. He can't win the 1v2 against his counterpart. This is problematic. He's trying to heal.
They need some damage. Okay, they got it. Yeah.
Okay.
They do end up trading one. But yeah, Dina tried to play for the 1v2. it's a little hard because you know, when you are out of range of the, I think it was a Lenny, there's really not much you can do. Oh wow, great judgment back in to actually dodge out on, you know, a lot of the AoE damage up, but it's not going to be enough. They do end up finding Johan, and Johan will end up going down as well. Sparkly Sports does end up getting a nice kill for himself there. But yeah, like I was saying, Dina can't really win the 1v2 because Bear got out there, and Bear was just, you know, providing heals for Sebi, and Sebi was just, you know, really far away there. He does end up going, ooh, a great knockback to actually cancel the of the Vampire Queen. But they're just going to focus their attention onto the Marcus, and they're going to be able to get one, and maybe two here. I think Bear is going to get that White Lily to get on out of there.
Really nice stun from the Marcus. He needed to lock him down inside of the Reign of the Vampire Queen. With that push into the wall, he was able to secure that. More fights happening now, though, as Day 2 has hit. It's going to be the fight for the Tree of Life inside Cemetery as the Bouncy House comes through for Pegsu, but the Twilight Heist perfectly split apart by the members of BNK Furex. E8 in a little bit of trouble. He's still alive. Look at the third party coming in. Auto Arms coming from the side. BNK Furex, they're just looking for something. DHC and J need to get out right now, and he does get out. Luckily, jump pad is there. Team BNK Furex is in trouble. DHC and J loses yet another member. Tangle Dobby sitting inside of Cemetery. This is problematic. Phoenix Park going a bit too aggressive, but they're still alive. BNK Furex still looking for this tree. They want this. They are desperate to get those transitions, but same thing for Tangle Dobby. Health bars on the side of BNK Furex starting to dwindle as Bum he barely dodges on him to walk it off. The damage coming through. Riori taken down to half. Rosner still healthy. He's going to try to go in. Explosion shot is good. And down goes the Sua. But look at the third party yet again. It's an Alphabet soup inside Cemetery.
I mean, just Auto Arms rotating back in because they were the ones who third partied and they saw the tree still up. They noticed some teams fighting here. They're just going to come back in. They're going to claim that tree for themselves. Yeah, on the other side, though, DHC Daeyoung Cyber is going to be able to pick up another 2 kills off of the hands of Team Blanche. So they're sitting at 5 field kills. Blanche sitting at 4, so both of these teams, you know, they know they need kills, they know they need these points. They're just gonna be, you know, kind of fighting each other for them. But yeah, great, nicely well played from Tangle Dobby there. I think BNK Furex kind of bit off more than they could chew. Rosner tried to go in there. Great explosion shots from from the Dean, and did end up blocking down that Siwa.
Legend Cyrus has to go big. Smash to Smithereens over the wall. Could go through. There it is. For Bun. Oh, actually, Bum didn't go over the wall with that, so he actually doesn't have a good angle on jumping in. The knockup comes through indeed. The White Lily manages to get Bum away. Blink out from Rosner. Fight's going to slightly reset, but the health bar on Rosner slowly coming back up. He's got the Dark Guild but the stun back in. Push-ins from Dina have been immaculate this game. They do end up picking up a kill. This is before a battle zone, so that one does count. Rosner's going to be stuck in here.
And yeah. Very, very nicely played. They actually get the Mithril, so they don't get the extra point for that kill, and it will go straight into the hands of the Marcus. I think that was the Marcus who used it for the active Pengu, but there was also another Mithril craft from the Bianca for that mid shield, so, you know, looks like he is going to be playing that Bruiser tankish Streamline with that Bianca, with the Blade of Truth again. Yeah, this side here, DHC and J, they're gonna look. They're out of timer. They're gonna have to be the ones to force it in, and you can't really force it into a pre-ult, and that is gonna be the way. They get some timer back, but yeah, there's really not much they can do. Very, very nicely done from Team Auto. I'm just playing the zone control so well. And on the top side here, Phoenix Park does end up getting pulled back in, but they do actually end up trading one onto the Marcus spot. There's really not much you could do into Asua as a Adriana and Shuka. You don't have enough burst damage to really kill Asua and Eleni, so it looks like they're just gonna back away. Gonna be able to trade 1 kill though, so it's not too bad because it is still day 2. Do have Lumi gonna be procced by Auto Arms, so we might actually have a fight on our hands.
Yeah, Lumi does a lot of damage, by the way, because those little orbs on the ground. Oh, that's a lot of damage down onto the Priya. Echoes of the Earth is forced out. Going to the Vampire Queen, also gonna get slowed down by Taekyung as well. That's a really bad ultimate coming through from Magnani. This could be really bad. There's a Blink Cartridge, not gonna do a single thing. Dina in a little bit of trouble, but this is their battle zone. If they start going deep inside of this area, there's a lot of investments coming through from Team Auto Arms, but Dina's not even thinking about staying alive. He will get taken down. Safety net for Magnani, as again, this is his battle zone. All he has to do is stay around this area, but that is a lot of disjointed death timers for Legend Cybers in a game they cannot, quite frankly, lose.
Yeah, disastrous ultimate, I think, from Magnani on that Bianca, not really connecting onto anyone. I think that slow kind of got to him. I think he tried to maybe use that streamline passive to maybe get that ultimate in, but didn't really connect onto anyone. And yeah, will be Young Cybers gonna have to wait until they are back up. They are relatively safe still because, like you said, it is their battle zone, so they're just gonna be able to wait for these respawn timers. But I don't think they're gonna be able to get tested for anything on this cycle. Looks like they do end up walking up into Uptown though. There's a tree spawning up on top as well in Forest. And looks like we do have Tangle Dobby just going to clear out. Maybe get some vision here. Here comes Team Circle Esports. They get a lot of damage off. A great timer kill from Rod. They're able to sustain and live through so much of the damage, but they are able to kill Bum as well. The AoE damage coming out from the side of Team Circle Esports, we said it time and time again, it's just way too much. And looks like, ooh, it looks like Young Cybers is going to lose a member to Tangle Dobby. A great knockup from the shoot guy there, going to be able to secure that one out.
Minus 250 going into the hands of Tids and Cybers, and I just talked about it. They cannot, quite frankly, lose anymore in this game. Already lost a few seconds of precious timer thanks to the disjointed death, but they are now forced into a fight. Phoenix Park, he's got the monkey wire set up. Is anyone going to be ready for that one? He's taking it. There's a squirrel trap back in. Explosion shot is good. Timer's not looking good for the members on Team Tids and Cybers. Oh no! The burn to a crisp is good, and Revolu gets taken down. I think this is it for Tids and Cybers. Down goes one, down goes two.
They are so cooked. Look at the credit count.
Yep. 4 seconds left.
Count. It's day 3. Like, when you lose this many credits this early on into the game, there's probably just no coming back. So this is really unfortunate for Team Young Cybers. They had a really strong start with 6 field kills, and yeah, looks like
they're hunting.
A really nice play from Glove, able to find.
Oh, they're hunting.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be able to get Magnani here as well. But yeah, really nice play from Glove, able to, get back on in there, use that burn to the crisp. They're able to kill that Aya. And once the Aya dies, there's really not much damage for Team Young Cybers. A great blink and a great explosive shot coming out from Phoenix Park. They're going to be able to claim that one for themselves. But look at this now. They are completely split. They chase a little too far here, and then they get instantly punished as a team comes down for this Omega. And they're just going to lose the Nadine on the bottom side here. Will be a minus 250. So we'll set Tangle Dobby a little far behind here. And I think Team Auto Arms, once they kill this Omega on the bottom side, they're probably going to look maybe turn onto the team of Tangle Dobby here, as they are forced to get the res in. Oh, wait a second. We do have Sin, actually. They didn't up TPing in. They might actually play for this Omega as well, but it looks like it's going to be Auto Arms just going to completely give. Maybe they check the items onto Team Sin. Maybe they have way too many items to take this fight, and they're just going to back away. I think the reason, if you look at the bottom side of the screen, Team Auto Arms, look at their credits. They're floating on way too many credits. They understand we should just give up this Omega. We need to get our buys. We can get this blood on this Rozzy, and we don't want to fight while we're floating on about 1,200 credits total for their team.
I'm pretty sure they also saw the res coming through inside warehouse, so
yeah, so they also don't want to get third-partied. That is like another reason, but yeah, I think the main reason is because of how many credits they have. Good teams will recognize when you are floating on way too many credits, definitely don't want to be taking the fights because you're not as strong as you can be. It's better to just give one objective to buy maybe 3, so you could be that much more stronger, instead of just maybe risking it and playing down like 3 items compared to another team. So yeah, they will just get their buys in, so they're going to be on rotation here. They got that blood, and I think they went straight into that high noon for that Rozzy, so they're gonna be looking pretty strong here.
Absolutely. It's another series and another weekend where I can be very happy about how decisive these teams are when it comes to the macro play. No hesitation whatsoever. They take a look at the map situation and doesn't hang around a little bit. They just immediately say, alright, let's leave, and they all leave instantaneously. That's the kind of things I want to see from these teams. No hesitation. As long as you have a game plan, just do it. That's the big thing about this. Taekyung jumping in on towards Sebi. Maybe it's the other way around. Everybody's stuck in the middle of everybody. Taekyung taken down to about half HP. Force field has been procced. Taekyung and everyone else on the team trying to go for something. The healing is really good. Coming in from Maleficent Helix. Bear. It's running a little bit low on SP, but it's an effective reset coming through from both of these teams. No risk, again, coming through as a couple members on each team taken down pretty low.
That's surprising because Roster has that High Noon, has that armor pen. The Marcus is just able to eat so much damage with the battle suit and that SSM. 2 really strong tank items, and probably the strongest tank items in the game to make your character as tanky as possible. You get that damage reduction from that battle suit. You get that big shield from that SSM depending on how much max HP you have, and it's just really hard for even a Rozzy to kind of, especially when you have a Lenny. So, yeah, a little unfortunate for Team Auto Arms. I thought, so, you know, maybe Stat Hands would have been able to, you know, kind of cook there, but yeah, just going to be able to back on away. They did have that Soul Seal as well. That Soul Sealer, once again, being, you know, such a powerful augment, just going to be able to get their team on out of there to safety.
Absolutely. Team BNK4X, though, they're being pushed a little bit into the corner. Calling Card is going to miss. A little bit of damage exchange between these two teams inside of Police Station. Pexu still looking for an angle onto the backline, but he's eating damage from the Marcus. Cancel on the Striking Tiger coming through from E8. There's a lot of damage though over on the roster, though. He gets taken down. E8 does get taken down too. Now DHCNJ looking for an extra kill onto BNK4X. Bomb needs to stay alive. Of course he's not going to. Clean 3 for 0 by DHCNJ, and now they're seeing a little bit of light at the end of their tunnel.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of lost after, you know, they dived in onto the Rosner and the Striking Tiger got cancelled, but just a great turnaround. Dasu was able to find the Suwa, able to knock them down, and then the Emma finding E8 by themselves as well. So very nicely played from DHC and J. And yeah, once, you know, their damage goes down, the Marcus, you know, despite Marcus being such a strong character right now, once, you know, your damage goes down and when you're by yourself, you can't really do much into a 1v3, so yeah, very, very nice from DHC and J to kill the priority targets first and then finish off the Marcus right after.
Indeed, but just because of that fight does not mean that the game itself is over. Tangle Dabi looking for an angle over onto Team Blanche, a complete split over onto Sebi. He's stuck in a little bit of a corner. It's going to be a Soul Stealer invested to at least get him out of that alive. Phoenix Park pumping out the auto attacks. Nice dodge on the Spring Trap. He's trying to get the damage out. He's trying to live. Xenophine with a push with the exposure shot. He gets the hit, and down goes the Zua. Down goes the Marcus. Bears the last one alive, and they're on the chase. Spring Trap should be available in just a second, but it's not going to be enough. Blanche gets taken down. Tangled Dabi on 10 kills. They're looking for a breath of fresh life. Pexu about to run away, but the auto attack from Team Sin.
The movement speed coming out from the Soul Stealer. They just blink on over. That's the maxed, probably level 2 Soul Stealer, probably fully stacked, and yeah, just gonna be able to run down Dasu there. But yeah, that is what you want to see from the side of Tangled Dabi. That's what you want to see from your Dedeen, playing really, really nicely there, able to peel back really well, and able to get that explosion shot into the wall onto that Suwa. And once that Suwa, you know, is kind of locked down in that CC, Suwa is not really, you know, too tanky because, you know, she does have to build so many tank items, or sorry, amp items, and you know, Dedeen can kind of just rip her to shreds.
I wonder if the Curious Case was on cooldown, because that's a very easy skill to predict, right? The explosion shot,
usually,
you can see it.
Yeah, so usually you use a Curious Case when you engage, so you don't get CC'd and you don't get interrupted. So I'm guessing it was still on cooldown, but before it's on cooldown, definitely a misplay on the Suwa there to, you know, use that Curious Case to block that explosion shots. Because if they did end up using that, or maybe even using the E community to maybe jump on in there.
Yeah.
But but that one is like a little harder, so.
Because it's only at the beginning of the wind-up now, right? For the CC immunity. You gotta time that really well. But either way, it's a really nice situation for Tangle Dabi. They're, again, looking for these kills. They need this win in order to at least have some resemblance of hope going into game number 6. They're already sitting on 10 kills, and there's plenty of fish left around in the sea. I'm Johan, gets taken down early. The Totem invested early on for Liguri. What the heck? The 4-stack actually ended up tagging Sakin. Oh no! Team Sin's gonna get taken down. 3 kills on their hands. They're gonna get taken down in 5th place. Not that many points going into their hands, and considering how close the top 5 is, this game is detrimental.
Yeah, very, very nicely played by Sparkly Sports. Once again, you know, the AoE damage is proving too much, I think, for Team Sin. I feel like it's just a bad matchup for them because, you know, they do have to kind of stack on that Johan. And once they stack on that Johan, if the Celine is able to get, you know, a double 4-bomb stack, it is pretty doomed if they do end up hitting that. So, yeah, Sparkly Sports is going to be able to get a nice 3-0 for themselves there. So, you have Team Tangle Dabi and Team Auto Arms going to look to posture up onto each other here. All these teams are looking for as many points as possible because, you know, the leaderboard is really tight. We're going to get a little bit of Q-Poke, going to use their cocktails to do some damage, but it's just going to be negated by the Priya.
Oh, here we go.
Engaged from Team Taeyang.
Nice.
Ooh, the blinks coming out from the backliners of Team Tangle Dabi, but that's some crucial cooldowns invested onto the side of Team Tangle Dabi, and Sad is just going to go in and he's going to burst down Glove with that ultimate, and Taeyong gonna be able to get a nice knock into the wall as well, and that's gonna seal the deal. So very, very nicely played by Team Auto Arms. You know, once the blinks are gone, there's really not much, really not escape that the backliners really have access to. So
Oh, they're coming.
it will be Team Auto Arms, and there is the Soul Stealer with the movement speed. That is the power of Soul Stealer. You can't really get away from a fully stacked Soul Stealer. Level 2 as well. It's just way too much.
Did you see her feet like scuttle along the ground? So funny.
Oh,
Alright,
wait, he
Taeyong
might be caught
getting
here.
caught out. But that is a lot of cooldowns invested just to try getting the Marcus down to
and
half
he only
HP.
lost down to half HP. Yeah, he only lost half HP off that.
Force Field was invested, so that is a big cooldown invested for
There's
Team
Soul
Auto
Stealer
Arms.
again.
But yep, Soul Stealer once again. It's level 2, 30-second cooldown. Hey, I told you guys yesterday that the cooldown nerf onto Soul Stealer is actually really worth it because this kind of nonsense shouldn't happen anymore. But Cinema making use of that level 2 Soul Stealer with as much efficiency as possible. They're just running around in alley, making sure that no one in the game can even keep track of where they're trying to go.
Yeah, and I think it will come down to the 3v3 here. I wonder if Sparkle Esports will end up walking in. I don't think they will. They just want to play their zone, I'm pretty sure, because they are playing that triple back line. If they do get zone control, it's going to be a lot harder for these teams to, you know, kind of play into them. Let's see, Team Auto Arms are just going to try walking in here.
I saw the idea.
Guillotine, but a great reaction from Sad Hands here, able to actually dodge out that. Sad Hands trying to play a little far back. Soul Stealer was popped a little early. No real value coming out of that Soul Stealer, but it is on a short cooldown, so they're probably just going to wait for it up. Sad Hands is hovering around the White Lily here. Maybe they're deciding that maybe they could use the White Lily for the engage from Taeyong. So actually going to keep it up here, or they can use it for an escape as well. Actually, no, it looks like they do end up popping it.
Oh, the
Sad
spot
Hands.
is weird. KCW doesn't
Yeah,
have
maybe
that many
gonna
walls to play around for the Twilight Heist. He's trying to look for even the slide step. He needs to get the angle in correctly for this, but there's no walls. He at least just jumps in. He's trying to get something done, and the
Oh,
kill
the
actually
damage.
comes through. Somehow Cinema gets taken down. They're trying to knock down Sienna. They get it! They get it! DHCNJ just barely staying alive. Smash to Smithereens will knock down KCW, but they've already picked up the 2 priority targets onto the members of Team Auto Arms. As long as they get the kill onto Taeyong, you know KCW is going to come back alive, so they're just going to sit nice and tidy inside of the temporary zone. DHCNJ, they're looking for their potential tournament life to continue. Down goes Taeyong, 9 kills for DHCNJ, and now we have the 2 funny teams going into the final zone of Police Station.
The AoE damage was so much from the Laura hitting the other man. I thought it wouldn't really do much, but the Laura I think is really stacked. Has 2 bloods. I don't know if you saw. Has the Blood Ripper and also has the the Taproots. The Taproots not really providing too much damage, but they are on fully gold kitted out kit, and yeah. It was, KCW getting that 3-ban ult, I think, into the double poly. There's so much AoE damage from the side of Team DHCNJ. I think that is kind of what sealed the deal, and that's kind of what killed Sad Hands. There's a lot of splash damage coming out from that team. And Team Sparkle Esports, they do recognize that they are going for the flank, so they're already setting up the Celine bombs on the other side here, but this is kind of what you want as a dive team. You want to look for these angles to kind of split the...
Nice reaction.
Great reaction from Mabel there.
Okay, here we go. Another split coming through. It's a 1v1 versus the 2 Emmas, but Pablo's already down to half HP. There's the totem activated, and now this sets up for Pekzu. There's the kill coming onto the Emma, but Fauna. Oh, he gets taken down too! No way! DHCNJ looking for 12. They need this game desperately, and they're looking for it. There's Song Harang. He needs to try getting something done, but it's Celine herself is not really going to get that much in. Only a 3-stack onto KCW. He's not going to get taken down. DHCNJ 12 kills, first place, 20 points for them in a game that they desperately needed, jumping themselves up into possibly 40 plus points. Now they can see the end of the tunnel. Now they have to just take the extra steps to get there.
Wow, so well played from DHCNJ. Usually, this is a team we don't really see too well in the late game, but they just played that final zone immaculately. Bebo there jumping away, engage when they didn't end up getting split off there, and then winning the 1v1 or forcing the Emma to pop that totem early, and then his teammates were just able to follow up with the striking tire, able to lock down the Emma before the Emma was able to do anything. Went down to the 2v3, and then the Laura just able to get that Twilight Heist and able to use that ultimate onto the Chloe. He popped their ultimate, when you have AoE damage, the Chloe ult doesn't really matter. It actually benefits you because Chloe's taking extra damage and you're hitting 2 targets at once.
Yeah, oh my goodness, what a game and a half. DHC and J coming back from the ashes to try at least finding themselves some wiggle room in game number 6. They do manage to get it. It looked, actually funny enough, every single one of our bottom 3 teams had that resemblance of hope showing, right? In the earlier stages of the game, it was Team Taejon Cybers, but then they get knocked down by Tangle Dobby, and Tangle Dobby then passes the baton over onto DHC and J, who does end up
Yeah.
finishing the run. So a beautiful effort shown by all of our bottom 3 teams, although the one that wins it out in the end is going to be DHC and J, which means most likely after this game, Daejeon Cybers and Tangle Dobby are
Yeah, they're probably done.
probably
They're definitely done. But DHC and J, they got 20 points. That's exactly what they needed because they're sitting at about that 20-point range. And I think there were some teams that didn't really have a good performance in this game. They went out 7-8, so they're pretty close to DHC and J now because DHC and J, they're going to be at that 40-point range. The teams that didn't do too well in the last game, they're also going to be that 40-point range. So it's still really anyone's game to make it into the top 4 for today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What a great game to start and end the game number 5 with. Now we have one more game remaining in the wildcards, and after that one, we know which 4 teams are going to move on into the finals, which 4 teams will drop. And from there, we can also start doing math on which teams can actually secure their placements, most likely going into the season finals themselves. But of course, that'll all be done tomorrow. For now, let's take a look at the scoreboards after game number 5. It is still a very, very close run, but add another team into the fighting block. DHC and J sitting on 42 points. They are only 11 away from the top 4. It's still a long way, but they finally found their footing.
Yeah, 11 is still quite a bit away, but it's definitely doable now because
Yes.
in the last game, it was a little scary for them to make it in, or they were way too far behind. They were about 20 points behind. But now them being 11 points behind, they're definitely in striking range. You just need to have another game just like they had in the last one. If they have another 20-point kill game, they probably will be able to make it in. But yeah, you can see how close the points are. 62, 58, 54, 53, and 50 for 5th place. So only a 3-point difference between 4th and 5th. So yeah, all these teams are definitely going to have to play a nice, consistent game number 6 if they do want to make it out. I think the only team that's probably secured is Auto Arms because they do have a 10-point lead on about 3 or 4 different teams, both from 2nd to 5th place. So it's pretty unlikely that all 3 teams are gonna score 10 more points than them, right? And that's saying that Auto Arms will go 8th as well. So I think
Yeah.
Auto Arms is probably secured, but the other teams, they definitely need to have a nice game going into game number 6.
Indeed. A lot of our teams were pretty consistent throughout the course of the day today, but that game number 4 has definitely put a stop to a lot of that consistency. Especially we saw Team Sin only 3 kills with not too many placement points in game 5 just now. Now they have to go back to focusing. Now they have to make sure they can pull off a performance like game number 1 that they had, or game number 2, I apologize, to make sure that they can actually secure their place into the finals. Team Sin, they've come so far. If they cannot cross the finishing line after what they've shown us throughout the course of the weekend, it is going to be a devastating Saturday for them. But we know that they have the skills, we know that their composition works, and there is no Chloe ban going into game number 6. If they want to pull out the Bernice again, I don't think it'd be that bad of an idea, but at the same time, I think they've seen the most success with the Chloe. They should just stick with their composition.
I agree. I think they just need to just put their heads down, and they need to lock in for this last game. Just play what they're used to, play what they're comfortable with. There's no point of swapping it for the last game because this is everything's on the line for this game. And we do actually have the Marcus ban going through, and both Mai and Jan will be back on the table. So I wonder if these teams will end up swapping back to the Jan. The Jan definitely worked a lot better in a team like Team Auto Arms. They could go back to the Jan, but I think Auto Arms is already relatively safe. But maybe BNK Furex goes back to the Jan with the bum on that. And I think the last team was... What was the last team on the Jan?
That's a good question. There's so many teams, but I can't remember every single one of the actual players that were running it. I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, that team might go back on a Yan as well because
Mhm.
you know, yeah, I think Yan is such a strong pick, especially with like Marcus being banned too, and going into this last game.
Absolutely. Across the board, we know that throughout the course of the series, there have been alternative picks, but we do also know that the Marcus ban is going to bring in a lot of ramifications, right? It changes the entire pace of the game. We've seen a lot more chaotic fights without the Marcus because Marcus is very linear, right? No matter how stylish he looks, he has one job and one job only. It's just try to run people down and make sure that the damage sticks. But for Yan, that's where the fight starts becoming much more multi-dimensional. He has so many ways to start thinking about a fight and actually taking it. This game is going to be chaotic super, and the teams that can persevere, the teams that can hold on and make sure they can at least lock in some points going into the end of the game, those will be the ones that succeed. You don't have to do too good. You just have to do better than everyone else.
Yeah, Yan definitely has a lot more CC, I would say, than Marcus. So Marcus does have that really good engage with the burger flip. If he is able to get those burger flips off, it can definitely swing a team fight. And he's definitely a lot more tanky, I would say, than the Yan, because the Yan, despite him having the inbuilt sustain with the healing in his kit, I think most Yans here are playing Tonfa. It does have the Tonfa skill though, and they are able to reflect damage and live for a lot longer. But the Yans are on full amp, so once that Tonfa skill is gone, there's really not much else they could really do to I guess stay alive.
Absolutely. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Character selection for game number 6 is underway, and we're
KCW
already seeing fun things. You're right. KCW, he's going to be back on the Yan. Not too surprising about that one. We are going to see Tangle Dobby just running the exact same composition. Taegyung's going to be back on the Yan. Again, not too surprising on that one. Bum is considering it at the moment. Not locked in. He says still has 5 seconds, but there it is. Marcus ban is going to directly correlate with the Yan ban. It's not going to mean too much in the long run for this one, but yes, we do have that. And for Team Blanche, they are going to run Seppi on the Ekion. The first time we're seeing that this weekend for that player for Phase 3.
Yeah, kind of curious to see how this works out for them. I think they were also in contention to make it in as well, right? Or actually, no, I think that was one of the teams. Actually, yeah, Blanche is definitely up there.
Yes.
It was Daeyoung Cybers and Tangle Dobby that are basically out for the running, I think.
Those two teams, I mean, it's still possible, right? It's just a very long way. I think it was 24 points minimum. They need to
24, so they need 16 kills, and they also need every other team to go 8.
Yeah, they need to genuinely pop
I don't
off.
know.
It's tough.
I think it's basically impossible at this point.
We have seen, I think it was a 17 or 18 kill first place game from one of our teams throughout the course of the weekend. Looking at how Tangle Dobby and Taejun Cybers have been faring, especially with their compositions too. They're both really slow scalers. Tangle Dobby, that Adriana takes a while.
That's also assuming that the teams that are in that threshold, they go 8 and 7 and 8. So
in that order.
Yeah, exactly. With 0 kills. So let's say let's be nice and say they get maybe just 5 points. They would still need 23 kills. And I think once you get into the 20 kill range,
it's not happening.
It's basically it's basically impossible.
Goodness gracious. Taejun Cybers and Tangle Dobby, they may have a mountainous road ahead of them, but you know what? You still have to give us your best, because you never know, right? We're coming up with hypotheticals. We're saying that the probabilities are low, but it's not 0.
Maybe we have, a magical 30 kill game, in ERM.
That would be quite a sight to see for a team, especially for Taejun Cybers. I think this is a team that has always shown us some really immaculate performances whenever they show up in ERM, but always just fall short. For some reason, it's not even their fault most of the time. It's just these small changes in the meta that really affects how their entire team roster plays. we could definitely tell today was a rough day for Hardabi. That kind of caused the first 4 games to go. Phoenix Park, on the other hand, he has shown us a little bit of promise in the game that he's played so far. So we'll see if that really is going to turn out into anything big. Nice blink investment, right? Doesn't want to give out any kills for anybody else. Striking Tiger invested by DHCNJ. This should be a kill going into the hands of these guys. Cenopine, yeah,
That
level
is good.
6.
That is good. They need these kills.
Indeed.
They are in that 6th place position. They are about 11 points behind, so now it's only going to be 10. It's really very nicely done from DHCNJ. Team Tangle Dobby, they're going to look for maybe EA here. EA just going to jump on out of there. As on the other side, we do actually have Team Sparkle Esports going to be able to get one for themselves, able to kill Blanche here. Magnani going to be actually able to get the taunt onto the side of Glove, and I think they will be able to get that kill. And Bomb going to try looking for an angle back in, but not going to be able to find anything there. Getting bursted down way too much as Tangle Dobby. They do hover around. They do see everything that's going on, but looks like both teams will just back away.
Did you see the schmoves on Magnani? He dodged every skill that the Adina threw out from Dejon Cybers. What the heck was that? He dodged that on Luminary, he dodged that on the Comet Drop, he dodged that on the Astral Trine, he dodged literally everything in that situation. And the fight again, DHCNJ picks up Adina, the White Lily is there, but he can't hit it! He can't hit it! You can do that in this game too! I've seen it elsewhere, but you can do it here too! I could have sworn there's like a certain, light source that people can block by standing on top of it in a certain game. You could do that in this game too. That's crazy.
I've never seen yet. I think in this game, I don't think I've ever seen someone place like a camera down to try to block the White Lily. But that is a play you could do. That is definitely a play you could do if you do, kind of come to that, because a lot of people, they just try to click like as close as possible, and if you place a camera right down on White Lily, there's a chance that it could just block the auto attack that is going to pop that. But yeah, it looks like Dasu is going to get caught by the Silent T auto arms. A blink on forward from Sad Hands, trying to get the ammo, but Emma's just going to use her change to get out of there. Amtron is going to give them enough movement speed to get away, and Team Sparkle Esports, they do end up finding the dial in from the HCNJ, and yeah, looks like the game is going to slow down a bit here. Teams are just going to slowly start to group up for these objectives. Meteors and trees are going to be spawning very shortly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's already looking to be a really spicy game. 3 kills now for DHCNJ. We got them as the kill leaders in this lobby. They've shortened the gap to whatever that 4th place team was, assuming they got 0 kills, down to 8. Now, that is an even more feasible number for DHCNJ. We know these guys like to ramp it up in the mid-game, try to go for a couple of these picks, see if it is going to work out for them in the end. Another team that we also see quite successful if they ever do make it into the final zone, but there's the taunt to start the fight off for now. Riori using the fire escape to leave. DHCNJ in a little bit of trouble inside archery range. KCW is also going to get isolated. There's the knockdown onto Phoenix Park. Tree of Life not going to be secured. Taekyung with a little bit of an oopsie. I'll give him that one. That's okay.
He went back a little back and forth on that Q there. That did look a little cool,
That's the locked cam diff.
But yeah, that was I don't know if you saw, but that was really nicely by Sad Hands did end up blinking forward and then using that gun vault over the explosive shot, and then because Nadine did use that explosive shot, they are animation locked for a couple seconds, and they were able to secure that kill for themselves. And it will be Team Auto Arms going to be able to pick up that tree and that one extra kill for themselves.
That is one of the reasons why it is notoriously difficult for a crossbow Nadine to kill a Razi though in a single 1v1. That gun vault ruins you so bad. You're always like, oh hey, I got the angle on this. I've seen some cases where people throw the explosion shot backwards though, and it does tag the Razi because she accidentally uses a gun vault because she's so used to doing it.
Yeah.
But that's rare.
You have to predict. You basically predict the Razi that's gonna gun vault onto your explosion shot, but if the Razi's reaction is good enough, they'll do the gun vault on reaction to your explosion shot. If they don't see the explosion shot going your way, then they're just not gonna press it.
Exactly, and plus the animation for explosion shot is a lot shorter than the gun vault. So if you use it preemptively, well, it's not doing anything.
Exactly. Looks like we do have Lumi being taken from the side of Daeyoung Cybers. Yeah, this is the part of the game where the game gets slowed down a lot. You kind of see the credit counts going down on every team here. every team is gonna start getting their buys because they definitely want to be as strong as possible for these objective contests. You do have almost all teams, fully bought out. It's only, I think, the side of BRX that didn't really buy, and Sparkle Esports as well, actually. But looks like they both have a member down, so it looks like they ended up taking a team fight. Good double execute coming out from the Kiara, as Sin does end up making another 2 kills for himself.
Good stuff, good stuff. It's going to be Team Sin picking up a couple, solidifying their spawn in the top 4, hopefully enough to get themselves into the finals. BNK FureX, I don't think they're too worried about it. They're just going at the game at their own pace. They're intentionally split apart here and there. Same thing for Auto Arms as well. It is a little bit of a backstep, but they've already had some really nice fights throughout the course of the game that I think these kind of deaths are just a bit more of a wake-up call, if
Rosner
anything.
is getting caught over and over again because I think
E8 is always around it, though.
Well, wait a second. Yeah, it looks like BNK FureX, they are grouped up now, and maybe they can take this fight here. Song Hrung already down to 1 HP. Rosner completely caught here. Nice double ball. Very nicely played from Scarlets. Using the hat trick to actually... Oh, wait a second. E8 gonna be able to kill Scarlet here. Yes, they will be able to get them. And wait a second. Bomb is gonna die as well. I think Sparkle Esports might wipe here as Bomb is gonna come back in. And yeah, that is going to be Sparkle Esports off the map with 4 field kills for themselves. I think they were in first place, so I think they are okay, right? With 4 points. It's not the worst.
It's not the end of the world, but really, how the heck did they let that happen? Oh my god, the Moon actually tanks KCW. He's going to get taunted up. There's still a whole minute before day number 3. He's going to be safe, but Sebi now chasing down Peksu. He's isolated away from the rest of his team too. He's definitely dead. He's not going to be able to use a Striking Tiger out. They got chased to the ends of the world. His exit is out. Yeah. There it is. Oh, he didn't even have Striking Tiger. My bad. Alright, he is dead.
But yeah. It was really nicely played by, I think, the side of Bomb. Bomb just winning that 1v1 into the Chloe, and then E8 Bomb basically forced the IRM totem. Sorry, not the IRM totem, but the Emma totem first, and then E8 just is able to just put the throw skill down, because once you put a throw skill on Emma, change out to get on out, and then Charmed comboed him to finish the Emma, and then Bomb just won the 1v1 Chloe as well. So Bomb just basically kind of just like 1v3 that fight there.
Yes sir, yes sir. Alright, here we go. 15 seconds to go until day number 3 though. This is where minus 250 start becoming a factor, and this is where teams are going to start falling further and further behind if any mistakes are made within their micro. Team Tingle Dobby looking to get an angle up against Team DHCNJ, both looking for the purple box inside of Pond. It is thin corridors, which makes it a little bit difficult for DHCNJ to possibly get an angle on this, so KCW has to go big, but he's already taken down to 75%. Riori holding on to as many cocktail party stacks as possible with the third party. Pigeon Cypress is also hanging around. It's all of our bottom 3 teams hanging around in Pond right now, looking for this one single box. Glove should theoretically be able to just tank this out. The cocktail party over on the right side is going to block the members of DHCNJ. They're going to leave this, but the fight over the purple box still is extended. DHCNJ now coming back. What is going on here? Glove secures it. It's all for meteorites.
Yeah, and all teams are gonna just walk away there. That is not really good, from the side of Team DHCNJ and from Daeyoung Cybers. They spent a lot of time just doing nothing, just posturing around for this objective, but not gonna get it. It's not it's pretty good for Tangle Dobby because he did end up getting that meteor, so obviously they will be able to that transition. Daeyoung just gonna sit and craft, but maybe bait Sebi in, but Sebi just gonna dash on out of there. Xenophine on the flank with the Sua here. Sad Hands gonna walk up, get some auto attacks here. Guz is gonna get
the gunvolt!
Oh my god. Taeyoung does find an angle. It's a 3-man knockup. And I think that's going to be it from the side of Team Blanche. Is Sebi gonna be able to get out with this Ekion? This Sad Hands gonna be able to finish. I think Sebi is gonna be able to get on out of here, but Sad Hands does end up getting the last couple auto attacks. And Blanche is gonna go down in 7th place, and that's gonna be it. I think Blanche is out.
I think Sadhan got the bonus attack speed for the 2 auto attacks on moving reload. You always forget about that until it actually helps you, because that attack speed was insane for Razi. He did 1 and 2 immediately after each other. Sadhan dodging
just
the taunt with the gun vault, and then the double knockup from Dude, I swear these
and just hitting every Q to just make sure you just able to stay on in there. Rosner able to get that bomb, getting a nice 2-man knockup. These Yans are just playing out of their mind in this last game. They know that their tournament I guess life kind of depends on it.
Glove making a micro mistake. He's gonna miss the jump over the wall. Now he's stuck in the middle of a cat as well as a librarian. He gets tagged by the knockup as well. It's looking doomed for Team Tangle Dobby. We just got Riori left alive as the last member on that team. They do have the credits for the res, but I don't think losing -500 is going to be the best situation in the game number 6 when you're down already around 20 to 30 points in the leaderboard. Should
Oh my god, Sad
seal
Hands
the
already
deal.
has the High Noon. We got the High Noon.
the-
They'll die. They got the radar as well, so they're sitting on two 4 scores and a blood at night 3. They are looking so strong. They're gonna close it out and secure their spot and their ticket to the finals for tomorrow.
It's absolutely absurd how, quickly paced some of these teams are. It's only night 3, man. This is one of the reasons why I constantly think that it's earlier in the day for a lot of these games. Remember yesterday how I was like, oh, it's already day 4. Oh, it's already day 5. These guys are so accelerated. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's night 3. It just goes to show, like the amount of macro play in Korea, right? They're just able to just transition so well, able to utilize and oh my god, wait a second, it's gonna be Team Auto Arms going to lose 2 members. It's gonna be a 1v2 now as it is the Yan. Oh, Taeyong actually misses the timing on the quick spin, but it looks like it's not gonna matter as the Yan is gonna be able to get that stun into the wall, and the res is going to come through from the Mai. So it will be Sin actually going to lose 2 members. And look at their credits. They don't have enough to get both members back up. It is not looking too good for them. Sad Hands actually is going to find the Kiara as well. And I think Sad Hands is going to be able to just run down this Kiara. Rossi does have a lot of movement speed to just walk up with the W to just maybe catch this Kiara. I think the Kiara is going to walk all the way down into one, probably TP.
I think Saturn just opted to take the mutant chickens instead. I saw
oh yeah, look, he's chasing her red. If you look at the bottom side of the map,
he's
gonna try finishing the Kiara. And I think they will be able to get them.
Oh, there goes Team Sin. Do they have enough points to secure themselves in the final? We'll have to see afterwards, because remember, Sparkle Esports is also a team that dropped pretty early on into this game. We have a couple teams in the top 4, top 6, mind you, that are starting to drop really early. Blanche is also dead as well. Rest of the lobby, save for Tangle Dobby and Deadland Snipers, now it is a fight to the finish line. Can these teams make it into the finals? Yes or no?
Yeah, we do have Rosner. Maybe gonna be able to find Revolu here. This team is not there to follow up just yet, so actually is just gonna back on away. Gonna play a little safe because they do know there is another team. I think they saw Tangle Dobby. They probably saw another ping nearby, so I'm not gonna take that fight. But look at the items from Taeyong. He's also sitting on 2 4 scores with that red shoes as well. So they are just looking so strong. He's definitely Auto Arms' game to win. Wickland is spawning in school as well. There's a red box in hotel. Everything's just going the way of Team Auto Arms right now. But will any of these teams be able to, have an answer? Dasu gonna walk up here. Maybe gonna try looking for the cams. Ooh, I like the positioning from Cinema here. As they're just gonna jump on in. They're gonna get. Ooh, actually, their catwalk does end up getting cancelled to buy the change from the hat, and they are gonna get pulled back. As Dasu gonna try looking for Sad Hands. But Sad Hands is just gonna use the Gun Vault and just gonna dodge out on the silence from the dial-in, and I think they're just gonna walk back down for this wick line.
I think if anything, Pexu was really lucky that the gun vault came over, because I think Sadan got freaked out that the corner check came through from the dial-in. You can see DHCNJ, they know this wick line is so important, but the Yan is way too far away. There's Cinema trying to jump on in. The dash over actually tags over onto the Emma, and down she goes.
That worked. I don't think that's worked.
Yeah.
The Emma just walked up, secured the wick, but I mean, minus 250. They do get the wick buff, I guess, on two players, but it will cost them 250 of their credits. And looking at the items from the side of the HCNJ, it's not really looking too good for them. But they will be able to get a nice meteor call here. HCNJ is one of those teams that needs more points. 4 points I don't think is enough here, as the other teams, they already have a lot of points. The other teams that are in the top, they are already, kind of farming the lobby here. BNK Fearx has 6, Auto Arms has 10. These are like the teams that are, and Sin has 5 already. These are the teams that are, you know, kind of hovering the 1 to 5 spot here. So team DHCNJ, they definitely need to look to be more aggressive. Maybe the Wick buff is their answer to maybe, you know, looking to be more aggressive into teams, but looks like DHCNJ, they're just gonna back on away.
Yeah, sometimes though in ERM, we've noticed that the Wick line buff is actually a curse for a lot of these teams. As soon as a team sees that one opposing team has Wick line buff, they refuse to fight them. And this is the reason why, look at the minimap, they're trying to flank around. There is a camera hanging around for Titan Snipers at that 4-way, so it's a good camera check. They have control over Alley at the moment, a perfect control. They know everything going around in this area. DHCNJ will just opt to group back up. Are they gonna look for kills? I'm not entirely sure. For now, we're gonna head our sights over into Forest as Team Tingle Dobby and Team BNK Fearx looking to get a little bit of positioning for each other. This is one of our temp zones, by the way. It will be Forest, School, and one other zone on the northern side. I think it was Gas Station as our other temp zone, which means School will be our final zone. That does not spell any good news for a lot of our teams. That final zone of School is atrocious.
It looks like the Bookworms are gonna go wide. Oh my god! Bomb is gonna be able to find the angle, but wait a second, Ryori's out. But they actually are able to just kill the Dean instead. Oh, here's the third party. They're gonna be able to find Glove. Glove is gonna be the one to fall there, but oh my god, did you see the tracking from Bum there? Able to just follow Ryori when he just you know, used the dash backwards from the Adriana, just able to just follow them to a T. That looked kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah, it did. But now look at the way that the map is situated. We have 3 teams now that are in... Well, sorry, 2 teams that are in the top 4. Most likely going to be able to take away at least a certain portion of what is remaining in this lobby. DHCNJ ended up losing out on the Yan. They had Lumi right around them, but they don't have credits. BNK Fearx.
The spell shield. Good spell shield from Rosner to deny the taunt, because if the taunt did end up connecting there, it would have been a little disastrous from Fearx, but Fearx sitting only on 3 to 4 seconds of timer now, so they need to look for some kills.
Oh.
They're sitting on 6 field kills for themselves here. I don't know if it's enough just yet, because I think Sin was slightly above them, so they need maybe like 1 or 2 more to secure themselves in the top 4 here. There are still 4 teams left, so there are still some kills to go around that they could maybe claim here. Fable, I think he's gonna get caught here. 27 seconds on the Emma. I think the Emma is just gonna jump on over the wall. Gonna sit in the bush. Rosser does end up checking. Yeah, they're just gonna jump on over with that amp drone to get on out of there. Is it dial in? Wait, is it dial in? How come he's not in red?
I think he was just barely on the pixel, right? Either way, they were in a lot of
I didn't know you
trouble.
could sit in that spot with wow. I did not know you could sit in that spot and not be in red timer then.
Yeah, I think it's probably the character model that makes it a little bit interesting. Blink invested by Peksu, that's going to be a bit of a rough one. A 90-second cooldown for Peksu, and he needs to get on out of here. Timer is just not looking good for him. He has no time to get down into Hotel. We have 3 teams sitting on the northern side. All of them are actually full teams. It's actually the oh gosh, DHCNJ.
Yeah, DHCNJ, and this is the team that needs the points here, so I think it's a little doom for them.
Oh,
BNK Fearx, they got 10 seconds back, so they should be... Oh, actually, no, they don't get the 10 seconds yet. They get the 10 seconds on the swap, so... BNK Fearx, they need to look for something here, because they need... Actually, I don't even think they need the points. Maybe they did the math, and they just need the placement, so maybe they're just going to wait it out. But they don't have any timer, is the problem. Right?
Yeah.
They're sitting on about 4 seconds each, basically the same as DHCNJ.
Oh, Emma just showed herself
to
too.
Get some kills.
Emma just showed herself. That telephoto just saw DHCNJ. These are not teams that can get taken down very quickly. Peksu's just sending it. A lot of damage, but it's not enough.
And I think that's going to be BNK Fearx is going to reap all the rewards. There's a lot of cooldowns. Invested in a double knock coming out from Dom. And that is going to be BNK Fearx going to win this battle zone, and I think that secures them the spot in that top 4. We will see them tomorrow for the finals.
Yes, sir. BNK Fearx and Auto Arms now our final 2 teams. Again, it's the matchup of the ages today from the looks of it. Auto Arms and BNK Fearx. Now, they're not on items. Absolutely cracked out like we saw earlier today, but we do have a very, very big matchup coming ahead of us.
Look at the items though from
Yup.
Team Auto Arms. Double blood
but
on the Yon, blood on the Rozzy. I think the Maya is also fully kitted out. But wait a second, Rosner has 2 bloods for themselves as well. So maybe they could definitely have a chance here. They did get a lot of credits because 5 players worth of credits in that final zone. So maybe they could play around with something here. Senna is also sitting on the SSM and the mid crop. It's kind of all you really need on that. Maybe they could use this blast, or not blast, this white lily over the wall. But it looks like they are just going to take it a little slow here. Otherwise, just going to have the zone control, and Side Hands is going to get caught by the recon there.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
just going. Yeah.
Here we go. Bomb's gonna start the fight for now. It is a Quake invested. Oh, double taunt coming
Oh,
in.
the
Sad
double
hand.
taunt!
Oh my
Man, he's
god.
dead.
Yo, what the heck? The double taunt coming in. Although Taekyung, he is soaking up a little bit of damage,
Oh
but
my
the
God.
beautiful tomahawk roundhouse. How does he do it every time? Rosner, he knows he has to
Oh,
go
wait,
in.
he missed
Taekyung
it.
makes a little bit of a mistake. There's the exclusive
Oh
coming in, but
my
another
God.
double! The roundhouse can't just
Beyond.
cut, dude.
Taeyong just played that so masterfully. Holy moly, that.
Who the hell is this kid, man?
I don't know. Wow. Wow.
What the hell?
It's not just Sad Hands. They gotta worry about Taeyong too. Taeyong just able to live there, get the nice roundhouse kick onto the Suo, stunning them, and then at the very end getting another double roundhouse kick, stunning both of them into the wall, and all it's just lights out from there. Sad Hands, all he needs to do is just clean up, just auto attack them down, and wow.
Bro, is it just me, or is Taekyung like the embodiment of Yan? Whenever he plays this guy...
This guy is crazy. He's probably the best Yan, like, by far on Korea. Like, wow.
I'm so glad that he's now able to get the full attention that he deserves, 100%. Because, as we said, way back in the days when he used to be on the roster for Always Incheon, the older version of Always Incheon, he always set things up for Luminal, and Luminal was the one always taking away the spotlight. But you knew, I knew, so much of the fact that the Shoichi was able to do what he was able to do was because of the setup from the Yan. Exactly. That pawn clip, the infamous pawn clip of the 2v3 that we saw, it all came off of the fact that Taekyung was able to buy enough time for the Shoichi to split the Mai away from the double backline of the Celine and the Heart. But no one looked at that because it was a super cool Shoichi combo that directly led to his nerfs. Yan was untouched. I think Taekyung 100% deserves the amount of attention that he is getting right now. You can see his skills really providing a lot of space for Team Auto Arms to work with. And if they're not utilizing that space, he says, screw it, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, I mean, like, not only does Taeyong provide so much CC, but he also has the damage, because if he is hitting these combos, he's able to kind of burst down these backliners, because he is playing that full amp with the Tomfist skill. He's able to use that Tomfist skill to block a lot of damage as well and play defensively too. So yeah, he's just, I don't know, he just has everything like going for him. He has the engage you need. He has the damage if it comes down to the the 1v brawling potential. He's just such a monster on this Yan pick, and really goes to show, right? Like, these teams, they try to play around it. They try to maybe look for an angle, but there's really not much they could do. And with that, it will be Team Auto Arms going to come out on top for
So deserving.
through the Wildcards, and BattleRoyale, Sparkle Esports, and Sin will be our next 3 teams in line. So that will be our 4 teams gonna be coming out for our finals tomorrow.
Indeed, a little bit of a shaky end of the series for Team Sim, but they do manage to make it out. And I'm not even going to say barely, because it's a 9-point difference between Demon Blanche. They did play consistent. That's the thing, though, right? They might have not gotten too many points after the game that they won, but the consistency of at least grabbing the placement points is exactly what you're looking for. 25 overall placement points for Team Sin. You will take what you can get. Moving on into the finals, we are going to get another chance to see that team to, deny all the teams that we saw in the group stages, go straight to the finals. This is going to be a fun one, Super. Tomorrow is going to be extremely exciting. I think Auto Arms is also in super form after we saw what we saw today. What is it? What other teams moved on? We got Auto Arms and BNK4X also doing really good. Sparkle
Sparkle
Esports,
Esports and
Fauna, and
yeah.
the Yana. Oh boy, the
I
alternate
wonder.
personalities.
Yeah, I wonder if Fauna will play the Yan in the finals or back to the Chloe because they did show a really good performance on that Yan today. We have to see, right? Because it is going to be a completely different line of the top 2 teams or top 4 teams, I guess, 2 from each group, from Group A and from Group B, that made it straight to the final is going to be showing up for tomorrow as well.
Yeah, but
So
I
will be a lot harder, I think, for these teams to kind of play their game, just because the skill level is going to be a lot higher.
Yeah, the only problem with the Yan for tomorrow is that if Fauna does end up playing it, we have both of our signature Yan players from Wildcards moving on tomorrow as well, right? We got Taehyung
Yeah,
as well
so
as
we could have a
Bomb.
ban again, maybe.
Yeah, so that's the only issue with the Fauna Yam pick tomorrow if he does end up deciding to pick it. But it could also be a denial pick, right? Because he knows that it works for him. So if he
Yeah,
doesn't want to
could deny
allow,
Taeyong off the Yan.
exactly,
That is true. That is true.
they have
It all
so many
comes.
cards.
Yeah, it all comes down to the mind games in in tournament play for these bans, right? Because some players, they're a lot more comfortable and they look a lot more clean on some of these certain characters, while on the other side, right? So if they're not playing these characters, it's kind of a detriment to their team.
Absolutely. So many things that can go right tomorrow, so many things that can go wrong tomorrow. It all depends on the 8 teams that we're going to be seeing moving on into the finals. We know the 4 teams that only got a minuscule amount of points. It was Team Blanche, DHCNJ? Yes, we got Team Tejan Cybers and Tangle Dobby. Most of those teams most likely won't even make it into the top 12 from the top of my head. I should have the asset for it. Maybe we can check a little bit of that. Let me see what we got. I got rid of it. Okay. I don't have it right now, but yeah, I'm pretty sure
We'll
we'll
see
have
for
to see all of
tomorrow.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll feature tomorrow after we finish the finals, because they will show all the circuit points at the very end. But yeah, for now, I guess we don't really have that. But yeah, you do have the top 12, right? If you want to at least qualify for something, I think it's the top 4. We'll go straight to the day 2. The next 6 in line will go to day 1, and the bottom 2, so 11th and 12th, they will go straight into LCQ, and then the last 2 spots for the grand finals will come from the LCQ.
Yeah, the biggest thing about this as well is that I think a takeaway is Sin, depending on how they do tomorrow, might be able to directly qualify into day 1 or even day... Well, no, day 2 is impossible.
Not day
I think,
2, not
yeah,
day 2,
Mira and
yeah.
Sejong is holding that with 500 points. Still, no matter what happens, they're going to be
Yeah, so if they
above,
go
but
first, yeah.
Day 2 could be guaranteed. Day 1 could be guaranteed for an up-and-coming new team, Team Sin, coming in with the star-studded team. I'm Johan, the
and
29th ranked player.
And they're playing quite the team comp. We've
Oh,
never
yeah.
seen, this Johan and Kiara combo together, but it is showing up. I think because of the most recent changes, like it is showing that it is really, really strong.
Yeah, it sets up a really funny predicament for Fauna going into the finals too, right? Because if he does end up going to the season finals himself, which he should be able to at this point, now there's another Chloe player, and he got it banned today.
That is true. That is true. Chloe was off the table, but that's okay because Fauna can play, the young.
He's found him. He's found his alter ego today. It's a good day for Fauna and a half. As I said, I'll be waiting for him to have like that 10% Yan play rate on his DAC profile in a few days or so. Maybe he's gonna get interested in playing Yan a couple of his games if the Chloe is just not a good pick for him. Although I highly doubt that's gonna happen, right? This is a guy that's always played the Chloe, and even if auto attack Chloe was bad, he invented Amp Chloe to just play Chloe. That's the type of guy Fauna is. So unless there's a physical ban like we saw today, this guy's gonna be playing good Chloe.
I wonder what would Fauna play if Yan and Chloe got banned.
Holy! now you're really starting to dive into some rabbit holes that he's gonna have to start digging for himself.
Yeah.
Goodness.
What would some of these players play if like two of their pocket picks, or like the characters that they play got banned? Because a lot of the time, a lot of players are just prepared for one of the bans, right? Because they practice in scrims. You want to make sure you have two picks. You don't really have to worry about a third, just because you do. Or usually 90% of the time, only one of the two will get banned. But do these teams have three picks? I know obviously the sponsor teams, they do have that three because they're forced to basically play three different team comps. But these other teams, if it ever does happen to them, I kind of wonder, what they would end up playing.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I don't think Sparkle Esports is a sponsored team yet, right?
No, Sparkle Esports is not. No.
Yeah, they're just a branded team because they got support from other organizations. I don't think they're a sponsored team that plays in the National League just yet. Although that might change because you never know, right? National League ends with the season finals for season 5 as well.
Yeah. So they might swap like a lot of rosters
exactly.
around.
There's definitely a lot of justifications to do that. It really pains me to say it, but the fact that we haven't seen teams like Always Incheon show up to the season or to any group stages for the phases, right? Like that's how have the mighty have fallen, right? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it is a little sad to see, but yeah, there are a couple sponsored teams that just aren't really having a good performance. I think Slasher as well. We haven't really seen much. So yeah, I do think there probably will be a lot of swaps around. I don't really know exactly how it works, on the back end of for the National League, but yeah, that is the finals is going to be coming up very shortly. So.
Indeed. And again, we make it out to be like, oh, those teams are playing really badly. No, they're always consistently making it to the rating cut in the qualifier stages. They're always just barely not being able to make it. I think on average for Team Always Incheon, I've seen their teams placing like 3rd or 4th in their respective groups. So they're really, really close to making it to the qualifiers, but just barely not making it.
The competition is really tough, right? Like you have teams like Auto Arms that still have to qualify. You have teams like Asher, who's basically in first in circuit points. You got teams like Sparkle Esports as well. Actually, no, I think Sparkle Esports is a seeded team. But there are a lot of really good non-seeded teams that are all playing for these spots. So the competition in Korea is just really fierce. But here are the teams that are going to be playing. With us tomorrow is going to be Mary Sejong, Cartel, Asher, Gyeong Innates, and the 4 teams that did end up qualifying for today.
Indeed, and on our screen, LCQ signers, we talked about this yesterday. It doesn't really pertain to a lot of us, but we know that some of the teams are going to have to be forced to sign up for that one. And of course, we saw it yesterday again as well. We're just going through all the banners. Play for 2 hours, 120 minutes. Go check
Charlotte
the
emote.
quests. Exactly. I've been spamming it. I saw it a ton in scrims because I enabled emotes today, and we saw it being utilized everywhere. Very, very cute emote. And for the season finals, we have the dates up on the screen there as well. It's going to be December the 6th to the 8th. So in about exactly a month, actually, we're going to be able to see the season finals and the National League. And you're right, it is a 3-day event. Look at that.
Yeah, so the National League is going to be on that date. I think the ERM finals will be a week before, if I'm not mistaken.
No way. I mean, they're showing both of them at the same time. I don't think their schedule can work out like that.
No, because we have the LCQs in 2 weeks, and then the finals in a week after, right? So.
No, I think the finals are 2 weeks after, right?
Oh, okay. So it's a week after the National League then, right?
I don't know. They'll probably post something on the website for it. But ladies and gentlemen, either way, we'll talk about all of that, maybe even a little bit more about it tomorrow after the finals are over. But that's going to be it from us. Thank you so much for watching the Wildcards with us. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 2 a.m. Pacific time, 5 a.m. Eastern time for the finals of the Eternal Return Masters Season 5 Phase 3. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for that series and a half.
Take care.
사망했습니다. 생존자가 생존자가 사망했습니다. 누군가가 연쇄 처치 중입니다.
마술 시작. 함께
곧 보안 콘솔 주변 터미네이터 생존자가
숨바꼭질 시작이구나. 숨었지? 시작한다. 원래 술래는 아주 빠르고 영리한 거야. 자, 잘게 찢어줄게. 놀래키는 일에는 자신 있어. 찾았다. 놀랐지? 네가 첫 번째로 당첨이야. 아하, 너네 거기 있었구나. 좀 많이 아플지도 몰라. 도망가면 안 돼. 숨고 죽여버릴지도 몰라. 지져볼까? 좀 더 해치울 수 있다니까.